Hello. What are all you jackasses doing? Oh man. What have I been up to? I've literally been sleeping all day. Just had no fucking energy. Just slept all fucking day. Twenty-first was today a rest day, or did you skip workout? It was kind of a small-ish workout day. I just did some biceps and forearms. Tomorrow I'm training legs, and I might stream that. Thanks for the donation, though, 21st.
This ICC judge can't use his bank cards or book a holiday online because he's been sanctioned by the US for his role in approving an arrest warrant for Israel's Prime Minister
Get fucked, asshole.
Benjamin Netanyahu.
Fucking little bitch.
In February 2025, Nicolas Guillou and 7 other judges from the International Criminal Court were put on a
We have a new prime minister. When's he gonna resign?
list of 15,000 individuals blacklisted by the US.
In this sanctions list, you have the terrorists from Al-Qaeda, from Daesh, and you have international drug traffickers. And in the middle of that, now you have the judges of the International Criminal Court. With the sanctions, they...
Dodo, donate $2.
Ajo Blanco.
Yeah, that's gonna get copyrighted. The stupid music. That doesn't look
The goat
so,
himself.
Great. That looks pretty good, aside from the weird cheese stuff. Yeah, that looks good. Oh, cat. Oh my goodness, meowing. Oh, cats. Oh my goodness. Oh, squirrel. Oh, squirrel. Oh my goodness. Oh, wow. Those are good cats. Yeah, those are really good cats. And a win for every ice cream lover. Frozen Earth permit requires restaurants to seek out a superfluous second permit. What they're already serving. I don't know if that's a good thing or not.
Now, there are few pleasures quite as simple or satisfying as a chocolate milkshake on a hot day. Yet for thousands of small business owners, behind the simplicity of a sweet treat, complexity often lurks. For too long, restaurant owners and street vendors have been forced to apply for not one, but 2 permits if they want to serve warm food and cold dairy desserts at the same location. Today, my friends, we are lifting the freeze that too many New Yorkers must contend with as we launch Open for Small Businesses. Open, which stands for Overhauling Procedures and Expanding Navigation, is a package of more than 50 reforms that cut red tape, eliminate redundant fees, and streamline the permitting process. In a win for every ice cream lover across.
That's really bizarre for a fucking like socialist fucking lefty. Very unusual to try to reduce bureaucracy. They're the kings of fucking retarded bureaucracy. I guess this guy wants to, like, he's letting fucked up retard food vendors, like, everywhere. People are literally chopping up fucking watermelons in the middle of the street and selling them, kind of like it's India. I don't know if that's part of it. It's kind of interesting. Like, I'm not against the idea of reducing bureaucracy, but I don't trust him. He's kind of a retard.
Están ellos agazapados, ya quisieran ellos ganar elecciones para hacer reales con las escuelas. Veo que se olviden, aquí no volverán a haber elecciones, no volverán a haber elecciones, para que por ahí intenten ellos.
I don't really get what's going on. There will be no elections in Nicaragua. Okay. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
Dinesh D'Souza has got some serious gripes with the Islamic dilemma. I think this is probably a conversation on the Islamic dilemma coming to the United States of America and to the West. And here's Dinesh D'Souza talking about this. Oops, my audio.
So what? You have traditional Islam and you have radical Islam. So what's the difference between these two types of Islam? The real difference is this, that radical Islam is a political movement that is a response to the greatly diminished power of Islam in the world today. Historically, Islam, I mean, let's look at the world. If you were to pull back, get the bird's eye view of history, historically, the two most important cultures in the world have been the culture of China and the culture of the Islamic world. Number one and number two. If you had to allocate number three, it probably would go to India, and number four would be the culture of Europe. This would be the state of the world.
Dodo donate $2. Let me see. Erdogan built a $1 billion global school empire to export political Islam. Huh. That's probably not good. Erdogan seems like a complete asshole. Luxury housing market stall under Mamdani as wealthy buyers back away. Manhattan's luxury real estate market suffered one of its weakest weeks and months. Yeah, one home priced above $10 million entered contract compared with the usual 3 to 5 weekly sales in that price range. Whoa, that's really low. Manhattan homes priced at $4 million or more went under contract, but 20 of those were below 6. Yeah, well, bye-bye rich people who pay the majority of the taxes. Qatar plane maxing. President Trump says new Air Force One will be taken out of service to be maxed out. What the fuck? I don't... Okay, that's retarded.
I was so privileged to grow up in a community with a very large Jewish population. I learned about the incredible faith of Judaism. I learned about the incredible history and traditions of the Jewish people.
Yeah, that's why you want to kill them all, right? That's why you're friends with San, who said, "Yay, Intifada, October 7th. They should have killed more Jews." Fuck that asshole.
Hello, my friends. I know that I'm...
Okay, I'll watch that in a bit. I actually wanted to take a look at that. Thanks for the donation. Actually,
Hi, it's Dr. Vincent.
You could probably watch that now.
speaking already the third time about this operation of the Ukrainian soldiers in Konstantinivka and those Syrskyi and Zelensky portraits, but we have some more information that came as the confirmation from Skela Brigade, and they say that their soldiers are being imprisoned. So those individuals, they're the soldiers of the Skela regiment. Yeah, before I told like Skela Brigade, but actually it's a regiment. The Skela is even bigger than the Corps because it has lots of the brigades inside, and Syrskyi really invested into Skela. They have regular reinforcements, they have the flow of the people who are usually mobilized, and this is the analog of the Russian army, I would say, Skela, but with better supplies.
Yeah, I will be gaming. We're just gonna watch some stuff first. I gotta finish eating my food. But we will be gaming.
Better everything, but the attitude towards the soldiers, you see. So yeah, this is the portrait. I already told about it in the previous videos, but I want to tell you about this one. So this is the Skela, the translation in English statement regarding the capture of our servicemen in Konstantinivka. So the regiment Skela is aware of the information circulating in the Russian sources about the capture of our servicemen. We are currently working to establish all of the circumstances of the incident. We cannot disclose details of the operation in the city. Russian propaganda is trying to release separate episodes of the battle as it reflects the outcome of entire operation in Konstantinivka. So the fighting is ongoing in the city, and individual success or losses do not change the overall picture of the battle. For the regiment, the fate of the captured is an extremely painful topic, but above all, our fighters remain alive, and the regiment is doing everything possible for their swiftest return home. So they confirm that those soldiers are the soldiers of their regiment who were captured. During the same battles, our servicemen also captured 2 occupiers. This once again confirms prisoners of war were taken and are not a part of any separate episode that Russian propaganda is. So they also like capture Russian prisoners of war. Russians capture them, yeah? War is not made up only of victories. Successful completing of combat mission does not mean the absence of losses. After any clearance, the enemy tries to recover lost positions and conduct counterattacks. So it was the Ukrainian advancement to that building, and later on the Russians also went there. Demonstrations of Ukraine.
Dodo $92, let me see.
Cop who thought I was like making fun of Mao Zedong, which I never would and never will.
How the fuck?
Mao Zedong is a one of the great leaders of this world, okay? A man who changed.
He is responsible for the death of about 50 million people, if not more.
The entire universe, the entire planet.
Like, this guy killed so many more people than Hitler. It would make your head spin. And then, how is this guy like what the fuck? Literally everybody who watches him, unironically, die. Like, you don't deserve to live if you're listening to this person. Fucking crazy.
I got stopped by a cop who thought I was like making fun of
毛先院をバカになんて絶対しません。彼はこの世界の偉大な指導者の一人です。全宇宙を変えた男です。この国が大好きだ。この国が一番だ。
You know, I bet you if Hassan lived in China for a month, he'd probably get some like really severe gastrointestinal disease from eating gutter oil.
ジョン・シナが大好きだ。この国が大好きだ。
Dude, Hassan is retarded. Like, wow. Yeah, I'm on melanotan. I think I am a fair bit darker. It's making me dark pretty quickly. Which is cool. So it works. Dude, melanotan 2 gives you crazy fucking erections. Especially if you take like a 1 milligram dose. I could see that actually causing priapisms where you can't stop having an erection and you have to go to the hospital. I didn't have that, but like I feel like I was pretty close to it. I had to like concentrate to not have erections when I took 1 milligram. Half a milligram, it's not that bad, but yeah. That gives you crazy, weirdo, wacko erections.
Ukrainian prisoners of war do not indicate anything about the situation in Konstantinivka, but rather about the enemy regiment's attempt to use prisoners of war as the tool of information warfare, aiming to demoralize Ukrainian society and discredit military command.
21st, only tellers, you don't look any more niggerish than before. Well, that's good. Thanks for the donation, 21st.
We are awaiting the return of every one of our servicemen and urge everyone to help the enemy spread this manipulation. Like, you sent soldiers with the pictures. It was a freaking...
Yeah, I took 1 milligram of melanotan and like literally within minutes. I was getting the facial flushing too. That lasted for a few minutes, like maybe somewhere between 5-10 minutes. I was surprised how fast it kicked in, but yeah, it was literally within minutes.
PR mission, and you confirm yourself that the soldiers were imprisoned. Those soldiers were out there not for combat mission, but to show that Syrsky is winning this war together with Zelensky. They have...
What are you talking about? Big Lenny used melanotan like crazy.
The portraits, yeah? And
That's why he got so dark. Big Lanny was a huge fan of melanotan.
And you just confirmed that they were captured. And this is Cyber Borshno. I made also the auto-translate. Having completed our own investigation, we can confirm that the people shown in the video are servicemen of Skela. Yes, who were captured while they were on positions in that same...
I'm eating 1850 calories a day. 1,850. So I'm dieting right now.
Building. The 425th Separate Assault Regiment Skela has issued an official statement where they could not confirm that it was the Russian PSYOP or IPSO. The main position of the Union Command is war is not made up of victories alone. We all understand that in war there are losses on both sides. The question is whether the specific military task that led to the capture was justified is a matter for the military command to decide, not just the media effect or support the generals. So what was the purpose of them to be there? Like, they were captured, and we have from the Cyber Borshna that...
Yeah, you cannot get that tan from just being in the sun.
So those girls are from Michigan.
Yeah, this is melanotan. Like, he's white as shit. He's white enough to piss milk. You can't get that fucking dark from being in the sun. Like, you'll turn red. But yeah, if you're white, you're not getting that dark from being in the sun. That's melanotan. And he's been darker before. What was that show he did where there's that weird awkward moment where he like met a bunch of kids? Big Lenny. Oh, well, there's a good one. That's an example. Yeah, that's melanotan. You can't get that dark if you're white without melanotan. Yeah, he's dark as fuck. He's like as dark as the fucking black guy.
According to their own investigation, those soldiers are definitely Ukrainians. Well, this is a big fuck up for Syrsky.
Denis Davidov is one of the worst sources of information on the Ukraine war. Just on Copium has more misinformation than CNN. I don't know how you figure that.
Personally, because
I haven't watched a ton of his content, to be fair, but I haven't seen anything from him that it was clearly inaccurate.
Show this success with your freaking stupid face, and then the soldiers are being captured by Russians. Well, luckily they're alive, at least like that. But this is a big fuck up. At first I thought that it's fake because Russians left rifles, but those rifles were without magazines.
So having a date today, she told me straightforward that she doesn't want a third date until I shave off all my hair. I'm very, very hairy from the bottom. Like, you mean your legs, or like do you have a Bin Laden's beard on your like crotch? I get way too hairy around my genital region, so like even if I'm not dating anybody or sexually active or anything, I still just trim around that area because I just get uncomfortably hairy.
However, they left rifles. Like, this is idiotism, and that was the main reason why I thought that it was the Russian psyop. But now with those statements from Skela directly, they confirm that the soldiers were imprisoned in Konstantinivka, and also Cyberborshna, plus many more. Like, it seems like those were Ukrainians. Phew. I gave yesterday just a tiny little chance for it to happen, but now it seems like, yeah, definitely my first video about this issue was correct. That's why I didn't delete it, because we didn't know, and now we have more and more confirmation coming that it was the Ukrainian failed operation for Syrsky's personal PR. Tatarigami UA, the official page of Skela Regiment, has confirmed that the soldiers recently shown in a video from Konstantinivka holding portraits of Syrsky and Zelensky, who later appeared in the Russian video as prisoners of war, were indeed members of the Skela Regiment. This is a big fuck up. And the source, yeah, this is the same like information. They shared it on Facebook, and I made the translation. The statement of Ukrainian Cyberborshna, which concluded their own investigation, yeah, they can confirm that those are the members of Skala Brigade. Andrew said that we've had proof of Skala operating here for a while now, but didn't publish for OPSEC purposes. And some people say, like, I have a personal email from someone saying that, oh, they put down Ukrainian flag, so they're not Ukrainians. Come on, if you are at the age to be flatlined, if there is the threat, like people are pointing machine rifle at you.
When you first know each other, did you ask Pat if she's okay with you taking melanotan? No. Is she okay with you becoming orange and ugly? I don't know. I think she may stop being attracted to you and break up with you, so you may want to stop taking it or ask her about it. No. Thanks for the donation, dude.
You would put everything down. Your flag, not your flag, just to stay alive. Come on, it's a usual, normal thing.
Is it even orange? Yeah, it's not even orange. It's just brown. It's hard to tell. The monitor on my right isn't exactly color accurate. This one's more color accurate, but some of the orange tint is just from the white balance of the camera. The lights in the background, I think, are a slightly different tint than the key light that I have here, and there's a light from the monitor, and it's hard to kind of make everything look totally natural, but yeah, I don't really have an orange tint to my skin. I think it doesn't even look that orange when I look at like this. It's just like a brown color. So I'm pretty sure it's just your monitor that's not color corrected properly. What starting dose of MTT are you using? I took 1 milligram the first day. That was too much. Apparently the loading dose is 0.5 milligram. So I've just been taking 0.5 milligram for the last few days. Have you experienced any nausea? I had nausea when I took 1 milligram. It wasn't that bad. It was kind of similar to when I first tried Retta. But yeah, 0.5 milligram, I don't get any nausea. I do notice a little bit of appetite suppression, but I don't get any nausea.
They didn't step on the flags, they step over, yeah?
Yeah, Sersky's a fucking retard.
And I told you about that they have Ukrainian accent. It's not like Russian language. Well, there are lots of the separatists also fighting for Russia, but in this case, like if we have the confirmation from Cyberborsch, and if we have the confirmation from Skillet Brigade themselves that their soldiers were imprisoned, yeah, and Cyberborsch now says that those are...
Yeah, so when are we gonna get rid of this retard Sersky?
The servicemen of Skela, so Ukrainians. In this case, this Russian video looks legit. That it was a stupid...
Yes, I am dieting. I already stated that a few minutes ago. And yeah, if you notice somebody losing weight, then they're obviously losing weight.
Freaking fucking PR operation. I was crazy, mad. Then I saw those guys with Sersky's portrait and immediately I recorded the video. But if it ended like that, this is the...
21st Century Teller is telling you since the Ukraine war started that Zelensky is a corrupt warmonger. I don't know how you could figure he's a warmonger. Corrupt, I can kind of believe that now with the whole Sersky thing. Here we come to find out, and everyone now agrees that Zelensky has to go and he's enabling corruption, warmongering. I don't know what you fucking mean by warmongering. That's just fucking retarded. Thanks for the donation, 21st.
Cynical of stupidity, like... Well, at least they're alive, yeah. The conditions in the Russian...
I do a split dose of Retta. So it's Monday and Friday that I inject.
Russian prisons, it's not good, but hopefully they will be exchanged, that's it. Terrible, terrible.
What the fuck do you mean unban you? You're not banned on anything.
Situation. And that's why people, they are going on protests. Against, well, if before it was for Fedorov to renew him in position as the Minister of Defense of Ukraine, now it's anti-Syrsky protests. And Syrsky means the entire Ukrainian army system. The system that...
21st Century Tellers, Pat went bald and donated her hair to charity, or dyed her hair some ugly color, or started taking Botox. You would have a problem with that, wouldn't you? Botox, maybe, depending on what happens. Like, I mean, Botox works. It prevents wrinkles, and, like, chicks care about looking young. I don't necessarily have a problem with her taking Botox. I definitely wouldn't want her getting certain plastic surgeries or doing, like, any stupid fucking facial fillers. Those are fucking retarded. Like, that would just fuck her face up. So, yeah, in that sort of situation, I'd just forbid her from getting plastic surgery or any kind of facial fillers because, like, that would actually hurt her and permanently disfigure her. So... Botox I'm fine with as long as she goes to a proper, like, plastic surgeon and everything that knows what they're doing. I just don't see anything wrong with it. The only thing that can happen really is, like, your face is frozen for a few days. As far as hair, I mean, hair grows back. It's not the biggest fucking deal. Like, if she wanted to donate her hair to some kind of cancer charity or something, I wouldn't be opposed to it. It grows back, so it's not that big of a deal. Dyeing her hair some ugly color, she's not going to dye your hair. So, whatever. But thanks for the donation, 21st.
Your tan is hot as WTF is that person talking about?
I think he just likes to shit talk. Thanks for the donation, though. I love Richard more than Mom. Appreciate it. And thanks for the compliment.
Let lines own soldiers, own army that uses resources and not in the proper way, the corrupt system, so that's why people are there. It's not, oh, they're protesting just to support Fedorov, one guy, and they're ruining everything. It's not like that. It's not about Fedorov any longer. Fedorov was the trigger for those protests to happen. Now it's against the old Soviet command. And today Zelensky went on a meeting before he spoke with top Ukrainian commanders, also Commander Drapati, by the way. And according to Bloomberg, maybe Drapati might become the next general commander of the Ukrainian army. Syrskyi understood that his situation becomes worse and worse, especially with those propaganda failed PR stunts. And he published like a big article about himself, how good he is for Ukrainian army, and that he didn't have any sort of the confrontations with Fedorov, but Fedorov says that it's like that. They have the confrontations with this old Soviet system. Syrskyi is not willing to change. Syrskyi is an obstacle for Ukraine to win in this war. So with Syrskyi, Fedorov openly said Ukraine cannot win. And in his briefing, Fedorov was really open to people, and people trust him. That's why people are protesting. So I expect now some of the changes. And all of the attempts of Syrskyi to
Still, we'll never forget when you clearly died from laughter after Jason Genova's naked photo. Yeah, that was actually... I think that still may be the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. That was so hilarious. I wasn't even on like weed gummies or anything that made me more prone to laughing at shit.
Frank has new long form vid.
Are you sure? I checked, and yeah, we already watched this on another stream. This is 6 days old. He has some shorts that we're gonna react to. You know, just some fucking funny chord updates. But we already watched his long form vid. Thanks for the donation, James.
To improve his failed reputation, they're just...
Jason Genova apparently has autism, ADHD, and dyslexia. So that's kind of what's wrong with him. He's got a lot of problems.
For nothing. He instead digging him down more and more. People are not buying that shit any longer. Yeah, see, on Twitter, on Telegram channels, there are paid influencers who spread pro-Syrskyi propaganda, can I call it, whitewashing his actions, Scalia Brigade, and all of those crimes, actually, that Syrskyi did before. But it is not working. Why is it like...
Do not take B12, stop being irresponsible, you're putting lab-made cobalt cyanide and lab-aggregated, patented bacteria into your body. Well, that all seems like a good idea, so I'm going to keep doing that. I've injected about 5 milliliters of B12 into my shoulder in the past week, so somehow I'm still not dead yet. So yeah.
That why someone invests in campaign against Fedorov and saying that all of those people who are protesting, they're paid agents of Kremlin. Like, this is so stupid. Well, you see, there are some of the corrupt companies in Ukraine. They also manufacture some of the military equipment, sometimes not really okay military equipment, and Fedorov closed the oxygen for them because he wants the real competition. But before Fedorov, the companies got the direct access to the budget money because it was like this mafia, corrupt system. Government was just purchasing the stuff from those companies without any sort of the tenders. So it was affiliated with someone in a government company. They get the access to money, also European money. And the final production was not a competitive one, or maybe it was, but it was way more expensive than it could be. It is called corruption. So the system that Fedorov wanted to apply full scale is eliminating the stuff. So there is a real competition. But Syrskyi doesn't like it because there is definitely a mafia. And it's not just about Syrskyi. Removal of Syrskyi is not enough. All of the systems should be changed. Also, I'm sure that some of the friends of this guy who is sitting at the end of the table, they're also into this. For example, Yermak. It is understandable that even though officially Yermak was laid off from the president's office, but he still has communication with Zelensky, and it was proved. Because the day Fedorov was dismissed, Yermak somehow went to meet Syrskyi in Syrskyi's office. Yermak, who is under freaking investigation and who wears a bracelet, well, he was spotted by journalists. And those journalists also say that representatives of Yermak, they constantly go to the president's office. So there is the communication between Zelensky and Yermak.
Zelensky is Jewish, or does that make sense because he's a Zionist who's highly corrupt and been prolonging the war so his friends can make more money?
Congratulations, you're a retard. Thanks for the donation, dumbass.
So why are some of the mediators? So yes, I have just a hope that Drapati could be the next general commander of Ukrainian army, but also he needs to change everyone there. If you change the head only without applying real reforms, it would not help, and Drapati should come with his own team there to replace everyone appointed by Syrskyi and all of those Soviet commanders, especially from the
No, haven't noticed that I sweat more taking creatine.
Moscow school as Syrskyi. Every evening in a park of Franco, I think that's the place in Kiev, people are going on protests, also in different cities as well, and this place is not that far away from the President's office of Ukraine. Okay, again this guy with this, can I call it a fuck up, in this whole situation, and some of the should be done. Hey guys, I hope I'm gonna finish to film.
Okay, the Syrskyi thing is just fucking insanely retarded. That is so massively disappointing.
It amazes me that this guy is not in prison. I mean, first of all, he used to perform unlicensed surgeries on people in hotel rooms. And after botching at least a dozen people, he figured out he shouldn't be performing surgeries. So now he just designs the implants. But the big reason...
21st $20, could you see yourself dumping Pat when she gets sufficiently old? No. Just because you wouldn't find her attractive enough to have sex with? No. Thanks for the donation, dipshit.
This is a scam, is that he doesn't actually provide the services. He only does it for influencers once or twice a year to pretend he has a business, and then he scams kids and takes their money. There was a big post on looksmax.org where a few dozen people got together to complain about this guy. Post got wiped off the website, and now they're promoting him again. They're going to try to use this kid, Timothy Haraith's surgery, to prey on more young and unsuspecting victims. Do not send them your money. You will not receive any services. Consult a licensed medical doctor. They do implants. You don't have to go to this kid. It amazes me that this guy is not in.
I don't know who the fuck that is. I don't know how Frank even knows of this person. Really weird.
There's no point in addressing what these judges say to dismiss my case, because judges can do whatever they want. The law is not technically the law. You know, things can be overturned. The judge can... Yeah, I'll say it again. The judge can do whatever the heck they want. And in this case, because I'm not in the club, whatever they say is kind of irrelevant. It's just trying to make it look somewhat legitimate as a justification for the defendants winning this case. I mean, in other lawsuits I've had, like when Saladino was suing me, the judge made it painfully obvious that they were just screwing me over, you know? Saladino's lawyer forged documents, made fake stuff, like fake service stuff. I was never served the lawsuit. A whole bunch of really fake nonsense. And the judge just went with it and didn't care. So that's a very blatant version of fraud where they'll just you know, they don't care, and they know no one's going to do anything about it. In this case, they're trying to make it look a little more legitimate, but it's not, because I filed a request for a jury trial in the initial complaint. There is nothing, they're not supposed to deny it. There is nothing they can do to deny your right to a jury trial. Civil matter over $20, ridiculously low amount. But the point is, they have no justification to deny my jury trial. Regardless of the circumstances of the case, whether I'm right or wrong, I have an amendment right to a jury trial. So whatever we say here, it doesn't matter, because I have that amendment right, which was denied. So that's enough reason to appeal this case. And it's, you know, painfully obvious they're just grasping at straws here. Their main argument was, oh, this is not a Pennsylvania matter. You have to file it in New York. Like, I'm a Pennsylvania business. I ordered the Wagyu to be shipped from Japan to Pennsylvania. Their argument is, oh, well, the defendant is in New York, so you got to sue them. That's not how it works. You know?
Do you think there will be a future where your wife, Pat, will be too old and unattractive?
I don't care. It's none of your business. Thanks for the donation, dude.
Out of all the things that have occurred in this lawsuit, the thing that makes the most sense for jurisdiction is the state of Pennsylvania. And it's kind of irrelevant. Like, okay, doesn't matter, you know? One defendant's in New York, one defendant's in New Jersey, one defendant's here. All the defendants are... Should we have the lawsuit in Japan? The reason that he even gave here was silly. And especially in the context of a pro se litigant, it's just whatever. Like, come on. They stole money from me. My business is suffering. I'm not able to sell Wagyu beef anymore. I'm losing revenue, and they're just, you know, wiping their ass with this when this company really needs to compensate me and pay. I mean,
Dude, he didn't even hire a lawyer. Like, we all know what's going on. This idiot has no fucking clue what he's doing, doesn't know how to follow court procedures. This is, like, I genuinely do not know what's going through his fucking head.
I'll sue them till the day I die. Like, I don't care. I'll file a lawsuit in every freaking court and make...
I'm not debating you on B12 for the same reason. I'm not going to bother debating random idiots on whether or not the earth is flat. Go cry somewhere else about stupid horse shit.
You guys keep joking to sue the judges.
You're a waste of
I
time.
already tried that.
Is that fucking dumb faggot who makes the dumb retard B12 videos? Oh yeah, you're banned. Get the fuck out.
Our court system...
See you later. Go be a faggot somewhere else. You're skinny beta male fucking twink whining about a fucking vitamin. I literally don't give a shit about you.
They just throw it out. I sued all the New York judges in the Saladino case for being corrupt. I sued all the Pennsylvania judges in Lackawanna County.
I wonder what diagnosis 21st has. They're literally crazy. WTF.
I think he's probably just an asshole. That's all there is to it. Thanks for the donation. I love Richard more than Mom.
That are messing with my taxes, trying to steal my property for being corrupt. And they just jerk you around, say, oh, the judges are immune, you can't sue judges.
Once again, Pat will never be VG's wife because VG has already said he will never get married ever again.
Okay, well, thanks for the donation, Dodo. Appreciate that.
They're still denying me due process. They're denying me the trial. They're not acknowledging that the judicial representatives acted outside of their jurisdiction on behalf of these secret societies and had a personal, religious, secret societal belief that they acted upon outside of their judicial duties. They're ignoring that and just throwing the cases out. And again, what can I do besides make it as public as possible and ask you guys to share my videos? You guys keep joking to sue the judges like I already tried that. They just throw it out.
Yes, because you're a retard. Why does he even bother doing any of this? He talks about it all the time. Oh, they won't listen to me. All of this is rigged. Like, I don't even understand why he does this. It has to be attention. This guy has to have histrionic personality disorder where he just needs the most amount of attention possible. Like, that's the only way to explain this.
Is a money funnel for the elite. It is a completely fabricated, fake, fraudulent mirage of nonsense.
Then why do you do it? Again, this guy is just an attention-seeking fucktard.
Used to protect these secret society members and help them profit off of anyone else. In this case, a large shipping company destroyed $30,000 of my Wagyu beef, and I'm no longer able to even import it from Japan as a result of the spoilage that was their fault. Now, what happens if you actually learn the court system? If you figure out all these lawyers are messing with you and just stealing money from you, and you learn the procedures and how to do everything and actually file a case, the judge will wipe their ass with it. That's what will happen. And, they jerk me around for a few months and then just dismiss the case, which they can't do because I demanded a jury trial. So they are denying me due process and my amendment rights, and now I have to file an appeal, but no one cares. So all I can do is try to make this as public as possible. Our court system is a money funnel for the elite.
Okay, well, thank you, Frank. You're really helping society by acting like a retard and having nobody listen to you. That's just great.
Steroids.
Everybody's on steroids.
Not steroids. Steroids.
Steroids.
Steroids are based.
And steroids.
The open secret about the UFC is that the whole sport is dirty. And after 8 years, in October 2023, the UFC parted ways with their third-party drug testing partner, USADA.
Now we hear nothing since USADA left.
On the way out, the head of USADA, the UFC's ex-drug testing partner, published a public statement addressing the split. And in that statement is a very important sentence. But I'm not going to show you what they said just yet, because their statement tells you exactly why the UFC ended their drug testing program.
Oftentimes there's more than one substance involved in a protocol.
And once you know why it ended, you can finally see what the previous 8 years of drug testing in the UFC was actually for. And it answers a question I think
SV don't need $5.
Put your head between your knees.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
We're gonna make a fortune with this place.
How fast are they? Well, we clocked the T-Rex to 32 miles an hour.
T-Rex?
Mm-hmm. Say again. We have a T-Rex.
That'd be cool if, like, you could find versions of the movie that were AI edited like that and are retarded. That looks gross. Oh, I get it. Yeah, that's stupid. Thanks for the donation, dude.
I feel like your nose has changed after gear, but it looks good.
It hasn't, but thanks for the donation. I love Richard more than Mom.
Every fan of this sport has always wondered, how clean is the UFC actually?
Not at all.
Never won a world championship and I cheated the whole time.
For those of you not familiar with drug testing or professional combat sports, here's the narrative the UFC has been running for over a decade. It's important to start here because that way the 2023 USADA statement will make a lot more sense when we reveal it later.
We also promise to deliver a comprehensive anti-doping policy that we believe positions our organization as a global leader in sport.
That was Lorenzo Fertitta, co-owner of the UFC, talking about their new partnership with USADA back in 2015. So first,
fucking stupid. The only people who are interested in drug testing are fucking faggots who are losers who couldn't fuck the cheerleaders in high school and are jealous that all the good athletes, beat them, and then they try to ruin people's fucking careers with drug testing. That's all there is to it. Drug testing is fucking stupid. It doesn't stop any kind of steroid use. I don't know why you'd even be motivated to do that, because steroids are pretty much perfectly safe, especially compared to what the sport is. Like, are you really going to try to convince me that fucking testosterone or tren is more dangerous than getting your head punched in? Like, what are we fucking doing here? This is a sport where you're beating somebody's head in. Oh, steroids are kind of unhealthy, you know? Like, what? So, yeah, it's just fucking stupid bullshit. And it doesn't stop anyone from using, and if anything, it advantages certain fighters even more over others, because some are going to have more resources to better tools for cheating.
First, you need to understand what a state athletic commission does. In sports, they are governing bodies. They license the fights, and until
I hate these gay-ass investigator fake-ass journalist vids.
Okay, that has nothing to do with whether or not the videos are accurate or credible. Thanks for the donation, dude.
Jurassic Park is such a shit movie, VG. I don't understand why it's considered there is not a story, it's just people visiting a dinosaur zoo and no character development.
Yeah, that's fine. Dinosaurs are cool. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
2015, they also handled drug testing, which usually only meant peeing in a cup on fight night. USADA, on the other hand, is a private agency. They're most famous for being the organization that caught Lance Armstrong for cheating.
Lance Armstrong is probably one of
They didn't catch Lance Armstrong cheating. The only reason anyone found out about Lance Armstrong cheating is because his teammates ratted him out. He pissed off a bunch of his own fucking teammates who knew he was doping and knew the whole thing going on, and they told USADA. USADA didn't catch anyone fucking cheating. Like, it's such a fucking joke. And this is the most tested athlete in all of history. And we're giving, like, the stupid fucking retard company billions of fucking dollars for drug testing, and they can't even catch their most tested fucking athlete in history. They have to, like, hear from the fucking guy's teammate.
one of the biggest frauds and cheats in professional sport.
In 2015, the UFC hired them as a third-party service to run their drug testing program year-round. Just remember that USADA is a private, for-profit entity that the UFC was paying. This is going to matter a lot later. At the same time, Jeff Nowitzki, the UFC's VP of Athlete Health, said,
But I stand up here 100% confident in USADA's decision-making and these experts that they have. And
Dana White, president of the UFC,
Yeah, athlete health. It's okay for athletes to punch each other in the head, but it's not okay for them to take testosterone, a bioidentical hormone that's perfectly safe and causes absolutely no health issues.
was just as confident.
It's a serious policy, and these guys are going to get tested, and if you're using drugs, you're going to get caught.
Back in 2015, the UFC's top executives were taking anti-doping pretty seriously. Now, you might think it's because they wanted to clean up the sport, and
I know, I just hate the gay vibes in them.
Okay, that's fine. Thanks for the donation. I love Richard more than Mom.
if the numbers are to be taken at face value, during the UFC's partnership with USADA, across 8 years and 27,000 tests, fewer than 1% of all tests ever came back positive. USADA's
So what? Just because it has dinosaurs in it does not make it an objectively good movie if everything else is so poorly executed.
Wouldn't say everything else is so poorly executed. Overall structure of the movie and cinematography and everything's fine. Thanks for the donation though, Dodo.
testing process involved random visits at 6 in the morning, out of competition testing, the whole 9 yards, and some. The UFC ran one of the tightest per athlete programs.
Oh yeah, steroids are illegal because, you know, they're dangerous, but smoking and drinking, that's legal because they're perfectly safe and harmless. Like, I mean, the government is fucking retarded. It is run by a bunch of dumbass, incompetent fucking retards that just want to make you fucking miserable by stealing your fucking money, pocketing it and putting it into a bunch of horse shit that you don't fucking want. They're just a bunch of corrupt fucking losers who think they have the right to just run your life.
Programs in all sports. But that's not quite what was going on, because that narrative was just for the cameras. Here's the locker room version of that story. If you watch combat sports, you already know drug testing is far from a perfect practice. You might see a guy out of camp looking like Joe Schmo, then 6 weeks later he walks out under the lights, 20 pounds heavier with shoulders that look like Samus Aran's armor.
Says those are all guys that got their records, stayed in. Those guys are all dead.
If you can keep them off these drugs, it creates longevity for their career.
One of the only things holding me back from testosterone was listening to the last thing I had, which was my hair. So I was like, it, I'm going to get on test and shave my head. So then I became that 45-year-old looking bald, white, juiced up, jacked man, you know what I mean?
And before anyone says every sport has cheaters, sure, every sport does. But understand what cheating in the UFC means. In baseball, a doped athlete might steal a home run record. But in MMA, fights end in knockouts, concussions, submissions that are meant to maim.
But if you're in here fighting, you know, another human being, and you're that much stronger, that much faster than they might be, it's very dangerous.
Hyun et al. Refers to these as extreme outcomes.
Okay, so a number of things to fucking point out here. There are, in fact, size and strength differences between athletes, regardless of steroid use. So are they saying the sport should be banned because some athletes are so much stronger? Like, why is it okay for one athlete to just be super fucking strong just naturally, and maybe there's like a training aspect to it too? They lift more weights, whereas like another athlete does more cardio. It's like just a different training strategy. So like, why is that okay, but it's not okay for everyone to be allowed to take steroids and get stronger? Like, it doesn't make any sense. So like also, I haven't seen the data on this. I don't even know if there's a fucking correlation between weight classes and traumatic brain injury and other serious injuries. Like, are heavyweights more likely to suffer severe brain trauma compared to like lightweights? I haven't even seen any fucking data on that. And again, if you have testing, you are guaranteed, without question, going to have people who are able to take steroids, bypass the rules, and then have an unfair advantage over other athletes. Whereas if you just allow everyone to take steroids, then that unfair advantage is taken away. Everyone can use steroids willy-nilly to their fucking heart's content. So if everyone can take as much steroids, get as strong as they fucking want, then that would even the playing field. And then you don't have this like argument of, ooh, strength discrepancy. It makes it so much more dangerous. Like, it's stupid.
Their analysis comparing UFC pre- and post-USADA partnership showed a 12.7% reduction in the probability of a fight ending in TKO, knockout, stoppage, or submission. So performance-enhancing drugs are more than just cheating when it comes to the UFC. Keep this in mind while we investigate, because it's the real reason why any of this matters.
They can't even keep drugs out of prisons. You know what I mean? Like the idea that we're going to be able to have a sports testing scenario within a budget frame for our low-budget sport that would be able to effectively test it.
That's Craig Jones, coach in the UFC, second best grappler alive,
part-time influencer, YouTuber, jiu-jitsu industry disruptor at any cost to my personal well-being.
And we'll be hearing more from Craig throughout this video.
I do also wholeheartedly believe I am cheating.
As Craig will address later, he very openly used steroids.
Smaller weight classes die more frequently in boxing due to weight cutting. That's interesting. I didn't know that.
During his athletic career. So we have two different stories. The official story.
If you are using performance-enhancing drugs, you're gonna get caught.
The open secret.
Everybody's on steroids.
My instinct when I hear something like this is to assume one of the two parties is lying. And it would be fair to note that although Craig is a coach in the UFC, he was never an active competitor, so he never went through the USADA testing pool himself.
Do I think there are guys in the UFC on steroids? 100%. Do I know? No.
Let me propose an alternative theory. What if the truth was never actually an either or? Is it possible that both these things were true at the same time? To figure that out, I did some digging into combat sports history. Almost 30 years, back to when the sport was nearly banned in every state in America. In 1996, when the UFC was just 3 years old, did you know it almost stopped existing entirely? In the early days of UFC and Royce Gracie, there were no weight classes, no rounds, no judges, and beyond eye gouging, biting, and some groin striking, it was about as no holds bar as you.
People are gonna eat meat regardless. Might as well everyone eat meat. Same argument. Congratulations, you're literally a fucking retard with no critical thinking skills. Do I even need to bother fucking explaining this to you? It's just so fucking stupid. I don't even know if you're gonna be able to fucking understand. Allowing everyone to use steroids in a fucking sport is not the same thing as allowing everybody to torture and murder fucking animals, you fucking retard. How are these two things even remotely the fucking same thing? You're really making that argument that allowing fucking performance-enhancing drug use in sport is the same fucking thing as letting anybody eat meat? Are you a fucking dumbass?
you could get. When Senator John McCain watched a tape of UFC 1 and witnessed Gerard Gardner,
Like, again, there's nothing but benefits if you let people use steroids. No one is harmed. And then in the other case, you're torturing and murdering animals on a mass scale. Why are you fucking here? Like, shouldn't you be doing, like, dumb people things? Like, I don't know, playing Xbox or something? Watching TikTok? Why are you here in my chat saying the most dumbass, retarded fucking shit? Like, oh, I don't even know why it pisses me off so much. Like, yeah, no shit. You're all retarded. It's like getting mad at fucking monkeys at the zoo.
Doe kicking Talia Tuli's teeth out, Keith Hackney's strikes on Joe Son in the groin, remember when I said some, and a whole lot of ground and pound, he was shocked. He wrote a letter to all 50 state governors calling UFC human cockfighting and a brutal and repugnant blood sport that should not be allowed to take place anywhere in the US. By 1998, 36 states had banned mixed martial arts outright. Then, McCain became chairman of the Senate Commerce Committee, which oversees national cable. All of a sudden, the man who wanted MMA to be banned entirely was in charge of a group who decided what was and wasn't allowed to be shown on cable TV in America. And the industry reacted fast. TCI and Time Warner dropped UFC pay-per-views, and the new but growing audience of the UFC collapsed from 35 million homes to 7.5 million in just 2 years. MMA was on the verge of nationwide abolition, and the UFC was facing a severe financial crisis. Then, in January of 2001, 3 guys decided to buy the UFC. The Fertitta brothers, who came from casino money, and a former boxercise instructor named Dana White. If you want to learn more about how a former fitness instructor got in bed with casino money, stay tuned for a future video. It cost them just $2 million, which for what the UFC became might be the single best deal in the history of professional sports. Though at the time,
I'm not sure it was worth $2 million when we bought it.
But these new stakeholders weren't just going in with blind faith. They had a unique advantage. Lorenzo Fertitta had spent the previous 4 years sitting on the Nevada State Athletic Commission.
And Lorenzo knows more about it than I do. He's a former regulator.
Remember how I said the state athletic commissions were the ones responsible for licensing the fights? That meant that when the 3 men purchased the UFC, they already knew exactly what the regulators wanted to see.
We had a vision, wanted to, make the sport that people thought of as a real sport.
And what it was really going to take to save the company was a change in the rules. On April 3rd, 2001, the New Jersey State Athletic Control Board hosted a meeting that produced the Unified Rules of Mixed Martial Arts. These rules included things like weight classes, 5-minute rounds, a 10-point must scoring. I bet you didn't know these weren't always a part of the UFC. The Unified Rules even expanded the list of fouls from a measly 3 to 31.
Yeah, I'm gonna make more Greg hate videos, don't worry.
The company's strategy.
Yeah, next one's gonna go over the cost of testosterone versus steroids and the kind of results you can expect. Like, so it's like a cost benefit comparison. So, it's a complete fucking joke. You have to be a total fucking retard to take testosterone. Like, it's not even funny how stupid you have to be.
Strategy was to win regulatory legitimacy state by state. And by the
No, I'm not on finasteride.
early 2010s, the map was almost complete. But there were still a few holdouts, and for good reason too, because the rulebook was still missing something. Something very important if the UFC wanted to be legal once again, in one state in particular.
They don't even care if a fighter's going in injured or not 100%. All they care about is an exciting fight.
The 2001 Unified Rules contained no comprehensive anti-doping program framework at all. Drug testing was still left to the individual state commission.
Is implement drug testing, and they did it. They used to do it fight night, but again, like the old joke, it's an IQ test, right? Just cycle off.
If you're an athlete, you can time that and say, okay, well, I do my terminal half-life calculations. I'm going to be tested 3 weeks out. I better have that out of my system then, okay?
According to Hyun et al., without a unified...
Yeah, just take Anavar and then 2 weeks before testing, come off, and then you're good.
Anti-doping policy, fighters experience uneven standards, resulting in a prevalence of the use of PEDs among UFC athletes.
If you had drug tested me at ADCC 2017 when I had my breakout moment, I would have actually tested clean, but I definitely blasted for a 6-month period. prior to that.
So from 2001 to 2015, the world's biggest mixed martial arts promotion at the time was running on a drug testing standard barely better than your average jiu-jitsu competition. That went on for 14 years, and nobody in charge really wanted to fix it. Why? Partly because of the real testing costs. It's millions of dollars a year to run, and in the mid-2000s, UFC was not exactly swimming in cash. But it was also because some states had total jurisdiction over any combat sports taking place within their borders, which was a useful scapegoat for the people running UFC. If a steroid scandal broke out, they could just say, well, testing isn't up to us.
You guys are being f***ing ridiculous. It's being done by the Athletic Commission before, during, and after fights.
So what changed? The UFC was growing, and despite a couple holdouts, mixed martial arts was legal and being sold as pay-per-view once again. Why would they eventually bother to partner with USADA in the first place? In 2014, the UFC had a big problem. A problem so big, in fact, that it was starting to scare advertisers and politicians once again. It first started when Vitor Belfort got a therapeutic use exemption for testosterone and started showing up to fights looking like a Marvel superhero. Then news broke that UFC Hall of Famer Vanderlei Silva ducked a surprise drug test during the lead up to UFC 175, to which the Nevada State Athletic Commission reacted with a lifetime ban from the sport.
Yeah, it was hilarious. Apparently, he was at his gym, and then one of his buddies, teammates or something, told him the drug testers were there, and he ran to the bathroom and jumped out the window. Dodo, donate $2. Make sure you click all the links. Let me see. Mao Zedong was responsible for so many deaths in China that you can see it on a chart of global life expectancy. Yeah, jeez. That is fucking crazy.
I was reading your interview over the weekend and wanted to ask you more about your conversations with the your legal department about potentially arresting Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. I just want to know just what your feelings are when you look at, for example, your administration also reaching out to the Prime Minister of, the Ambassador of Iran, just how you, I guess, reconcile the two of being so critical of the Israeli Prime Minister, but at the same time meeting with the Ambassador of Iran.
So I want to first clear up a few things. Our administration did not reach out to the Prime Minister of Iran. Our administration received a request from the Iranian consulate, and as soon as I heard of that, I made it clear that we are not meeting and we will not meet with the Israeli consulate here in New York City. And when it comes to Benjamin Netanyahu, we're speaking about someone who's the subject of an international criminal court arrest warrant. And he's the subject of this arrest warrant for alleged crimes against humanity, for war crimes, and he's the architect of the genocide against Palestinians in Gaza as Israel's prime minister. These are not facts of my personal assessment, they are facts of public record. And I believe that when someone is charged with an international criminal court warrant, it's something that should be taken seriously, whether it's Benjamin Netanyahu or it's Vladimir Putin or whomever else. What I've also made clear is that my administration will follow all applicable local laws. That is our commitment. That is something that we will follow through on when it comes to an adherence to local law. And that's all I have to add on that.
Thank you. And now we're going to go to Heather from News 12.
Are you looking at arresting anybody else on that list of people who've committed international war crimes?
My point is that if someone is charged with a warrant by the International Criminal Court for these kinds of crimes, that's something I believe that should be honored. And I've also said that we will.
Yeah, that is the biggest load of fucking horseshit. Never says anything about any IRGC members getting locked up, nothing. Never advocates for the International Criminal Court to, press charges against these people. He just fucking hates Jews. Just total piece of shit.
But frankly, Donald Trump's approval rating is shitty. It's not good. It's terrible.
Yes, I think shitty was the official language that they used in the sponsored poll, if I'm not mistaken.
I thought I saw that too. But as Trump's approval rating has gone down, though, we haven't seen Democrats really inch up in the same way, and that's largely, and correct me if I'm wrong here, because people view them as non-acting. They've just fed into this establishment. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, right. That's it. These people are so fucking delusional. Again, the Democratic Party is just fucking garbage. Nobody wants their overregulation, their like anti-fucking freedom, anti-gun bullshit. They're some of the most unlikable fucking jackasses on the planet. Completely out of touch with American society, and like again, they're just unlikable people in general. Unrelatable as fuck. And like again, the party's just getting swarmed with communist fucking brain rotted retards, and then they're like, oh well, they're too establishment. They like support corporations and stuff. That's the problem. We need more communists in the fucking Democratic Party. Yeah, do it. Have the Democratic Party lose more and more elections. Like, these people are a fucking joke.
Absolutely. I mean, this is a party that has long since been the party of strongly...
Like, buddy, this fucking idiot retarded faggot did a fucking interview with Zoran Kill All the Jews Mamdani. Like, give me a fucking break.
Worded letters. You know, I understand the frustration with the Democratic Party. That's what I seek to do with this book. Look, I've been fortunate enough...
I love Zoran. Hope BB gets locked up. Cool. Get the fuck out of here. Bye-bye.
To be able to sit down with a lot of these elected officials.
Congratulations, you're banned.
For my channels. And hopefully if I can do my part and offer up, you know, my message to these people that this...
Yeah, vote for Zoran, the guy who wants to kill all the Jews, the guy whose wife was celebrating October 7th, the guy who wants to lock up a... leader of a liberal democratic state and wants Israel to be wiped off the fucking map, right?
This is where the electorate is standing right now.
Like these people are such insane, ridiculous fucking cancer, and they're destroying their own party, and they're like too delusional to fucking see it. So like, fuck them.
There's a space base being built on a beach in Somalia, an actual launch site for satellites and maybe even a lunar program, and plans to test ballistic missiles. Some of this has got a lot of people upset. Israel is not amused. That might be because the country building that base is not even Somalia. It's Turkey. How did this even come about?
So I would say Turkey is successful in its own way and to its benefit because of taking risks that no one else is taking.
To understand, we have to look at one of the most effective Africa strategy projects of the last 2 decades, because Turkey has been playing a long game here. For more, I spoke to DW's Istanbul correspondent Dorian Jones.
Well, Turkey sees Africa as one of the most important relationships that it will have in the future, both from an economic point of view and from a strategic point of view.
Ankara has been building relationships for a while. An indicator of how important Africa is for Recep Tayyip Erdogan, the diplomatic presence. When he came to underneath it all, it's unimported energy. He's been trying to do in Africa.
Okay, this is just too long and boring.
Do you let those kids get away with this? They are not supposed to be here!
Police visiting an American campus last year following the report of a car theft. Unfortunately for them, the first person they meet is a cross-dressing student who throws repeated and aggressive tantrums over his gender identity. What the fuck?
If you don't lower your voice, I am going to put handcuffs on you and I'm going to take you to a Baker Act facility. You lower your voice.
Fucking try it.
Are you threatening me?
You're threatening me.
Are you threatening me?
I'm gonna just...
Because I'm here right now to deal with a stolen vehicle. I ain't got time to hear you screaming and yelling.
Hey, TRT forearms. See that?
You screaming and yelling.
I don't have time to constantly be abused.
We'll get OPD down here then, because I gotta work this stolen vehicle.
What do you mean OPD?
Alpha 73 University.
Alpha 73?
Can we get another unit to deal with Jay Lee here? He is having a breakdown.
Say! Just say the right pronoun!
What'd you say?
7351.
Get down on the ground right now.
No!
You're about to get sprayed.
No!
Get down on the ground right now.
Leave me alone!
I can come in there.
Leave me alone, please!
Okay, are you gonna calm down?
I'm getting my phone out. I have to film this.
I'm telling you, are you gonna calm down?
I will calm down! I will calm down!
You know what this is?
I will calm down when you get...
You know, it's no wonder these people commit mass shootings if they're this fucking unhinged.
Get the pepper spray out of my face!
off a 17.
Leave me alone!
Oh my god.
Just please!
Pepper spray
Please!
at this individual
Just
right
stop
now.
pointing the pepper spray at me! I will calm down if you do that! Stop threatening me!
Yeah, lower your voice.
Leave me alone! Leave me alone!
Do you want to get tased?
I want you to leave me alone! You have been particularly abusing me!
If you come,
You did it!
if you come towards me one more time,
Follow me!
you are gonna.
And send your bills administrators!
I gotta
Don't you remember?
deal with the story.
Don't you remember?
Jaylee, don't. He's focus on me, okay? Okay?
Get away!
You don't tell me where to go.
Yeah, this is what happens when you have low test. Like, you know, there may be something to the whole trans shooter thing because testosterone's extremely important for mental health. So, like, if you massively reduce a man's testosterone, even if they want to be a woman or something, that is very likely going to trigger mental health issues. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if some of these fucking people who are, like, trans or whatever and maybe going through hormone therapy, like, that's a contributing factor to them just going nuts and shooting people. Like, it wouldn't surprise me. No, that's a different person. Thanks for the donation, 21st. Cam, donate $2. Do you like watching dumb, annoying videos about stupid people? Kind of depends. I've already seen that. Somebody's already linked that to me. French hotel receptionist freaks out and doesn't believe the customer's room key is malfunctioning.
His response. Does the key work?
Hey, don't fucking swallow it.
After he finished crying in the bathroom, he eventually made me a third key. I went to go use it and it didn't work. And this is what happened when I came to tell him that the third key did not work.
424! Stop yelling at me, please!
Sir, I have not yelled at you once.
You scared me, please go back in your room.
Wait till the next clip, but the irony in this one is that he's telling me to just go back to my room as if that's not what I'm trying to do. So after this key also didn't work, he finally gets annoyed enough to come upstairs and show me what I'm doing wrong.
No,
Wait,
thanks for that
happens
donation,
when they get to the door.
21st.
It does not work, monsieur. Does the key work?
I see him tap my room key twice and it not work, and then finally he opens it with, like, the master key, which proves I was doing nothing wrong, which then prompts me to ask him,
does the key work?
Now, in all fairness, I am asking this question for two reasons. Partly because I don't want to get locked out of the room again, but also partly to be a dick, because he just spent the last 20 minutes literally calling me an idiot and telling me that I did not know how to work the lock, and his response.
Does the key work?
Hey, don't fucking swallow it.
Now, if you're paying attention, he did in fact open the door for me, but he did not hold it open or leave it open long enough for me to get in the room, because he opened it 10 feet away, and then when I asked him, does the key work, because the door is now closed again, he then shouts at me and then runs away. So he opened the door, but didn't actually give me a chance to get into the room, and he runs away down the hallway, and I have to chase him down the stairs.
Open my hotel room door!
Don't, please.
Let me into my room!
Fight with me, please.
I'm not fighting with you. You said that. You threw a key at me and spit at me, sir. Let me into my room.
How in the fuck does this guy have a job?
Is there any other employee here? Does anyone else work here?
Now, in all fairness, I will admit that at this point I was getting a little bit heated, especially when I was chasing him down the stairs because I was shouting at him, mostly out of the absurdity of this. He had already begrudgingly come upstairs, opened the door, did not leave it open for me to go through it, throws the key at me and then runs away, and we still haven't solved the problem that I'm not in my room. Anyways, after this video ends and I sit in the lobby for 10 minutes pleading with him to let me into my room, he says, I shall let you into the room on one condition, that you go into the room and you do not leave until my shift is over, and you do not interact with me again today. Do you understand? As if he sets conditions for what I do or do not do as a guest at the hotel. Like I want to interact with you. The entire purpose of all of my interactions was...
That is really weird. I don't know how the fuck that person has a job.
Fuck you!
Thanks for that
Fuck
donation,
you,
Con.
cop!
of 73 University.
I want to be
No,
away from
no,
him.
it's too late now. It's too late now. He's going to be taken away.
Shay!
Jaylee, you need to stop. Stop.
It's taken.
I just want to get away from him.
I understand that.
He needs
Shay!
He.
Shay! 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 Stop misgendering me! Just say Shay!
Alpha 7-3.
Josh, can you please just tell them to use the right pronouns? Please! You know it's
I didn't even fucking see him mention this person's gender like once.
causing me a lot of distress.
I need you to bring it down here, though.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you very nicely. Put your stuff down, turn around, put your hands behind your back.
Alpha 70 to Riley over here.
Not going to be arrested.
Put your stuff down.
No.
Put your hands behind your back.
Like, of course this is happening at a fucking college, right?
No.
Okay, so I'm only gonna ask you one more time. You can record all you want, but it's already beyond that point. We already tried.
You're stressing me out.
It doesn't matter.
I'm just asking you to please stop stressing.
We already tried to help you. So.
No, you didn't.
Yes.
You came in with hostile intent.
Put your hands.
Be alone.
Get on the ground right now.
Don't
hurt me. Get on the ground right now.
Don't hurt me.
Get down on the ground right now.
Hey.
I got a couple like this. I got a come on this way. Stop. Sit down. Get down. Get down. Leave me alone. On your back.
I wanted you to be with him. Her.
Okay, her. I'm gonna spray her.
At this point, absolutely fuck the Democrats. Fuck all the left. Voting right is the way to go. The left are literal communists who want to take your money and freedoms and give them to some inassimilable third world 60 IQ migrants.
Oh yeah, that's the big fucking thing right now. Raise taxes so that you can throw it down the toilet, bringing in a bunch of dumb illegal fucking migrants who are faking refugee status. And it's this like death spiral that ends up happening. They keep expanding government and social services. They bring in people who are reliant on these social services who don't have to contribute to the tax system. And then they just keep running steeper and steeper fucking deficits. And again, it's this death spiral where everyone becomes more fucking broken poor. And crime goes through the fucking roof. And you just have a bunch of fucking retards doing like just dumb shit everywhere. That's Canada right now. And again, it's all fucking liberal government horseshit. So yeah, voting right wing is the way to go right now, even though I don't exactly like the right wing for a lot of reasons, but they're absolutely a better choice. Thanks for the donation though, dude.
Is that your ex in the vid? What's going on, man?
No. Thanks for the donation.
Is there any way I can?
No, give me your hand.
Please.
Give me your hand.
Please. I can calm down if you just give me some space.
See what's gonna happen? Put your hand behind your back.
I just need space.
Put your hand behind your back.
Space.
Give me your hand.
I just need
Give me
space,
your
please.
hand.
Put your hand.
Give me 1 sec.
Why are conservatives the only option when they're also compromised by Zionist and Mossad agents spreading propaganda? Just vote third party.
All right. Yeah, vote third party so that the Republicans win. That's a very good idea. Vote third party so that the Republicans always get in. Good advice. Thanks for the donation, Shet.
Jalen, give me your hand. Okay, I'm gonna tase you if you don't cooperate. Jalen, give me.
Jalen, it's gonna hurt, man. Just give me your hand. He's not gonna tase you. Just give me your hand.
You're gonna arrest me.
Give me your hand.
Yes.
No, this is a college, so it couldn't have been her.
We need your hand.
Thanks for the donation, 21st. Yeah, this dude's on TRT. You can see the TRT forearms.
Let's go. Give me your hand.
Gonna get it again this time.
Give me your hand. Give me your hand.
Leave me alone.
Give
Oh
me
my
your hand.
god, dude. This is so retarded.
Your hand.
Like, what's the funny thing about this is they weren't even here for this person. They were here for a fucking car theft, and this person randomly starts freaking out for no reason. It's hilarious.
Give me your hand. All right, give me your hand.
I'm surprised they need two of them to handcuff this, like, fat, out-of-shape retard.
Maybe she went to college because she couldn't find a job in Spencerville. I mean, we all know she was identifying as non-binary last we saw her, so trans isn't far off, and we know she's a crazy nut.
No, this is also in the States, so, no. No. Thanks for the donation, 21st.
You were married to that thing? Yikes.
That's great. Thanks for the donation, dude.
And you were married to that?
Yeah, sure. Thanks for the donation.
We got him.
And we got charges.
Alright. What, battery?
And battery on Leo.
Battery.
Oh, they were attacking
I had to
me.
tase him.
What was I supposed to do?
Okay.
Comply. Now you're under arrest for battery on Leo.
Watch your head.
Roll over. Now get up.
Josh, please.
On your knee.
I'm trying.
Now stand up.
I can't
I have my phone.
Sure, I don't know where it is.
Ow, I can't get up.
You said you did taser, right?
Yes.
Alright, I'm gonna call.
Yeah.
And the right are not perfect by any means, but the left are just insane. And WTF is with those people who are so obsessed with the Zionism with the right? Rather have that than this retarded third worldism coming from the left.
Sure. That's great. Thanks for the donation, dude. I have no idea what the closest college is to Spencerville. Like, I live in the middle of fucking nowhere, so probably pretty far.
Stun. Sit down. We're gonna have the fire department take a look at you.
Josh, this is a big misunderstanding.
You're good? Let's just take it to the car.
You're gonna be on this. Put him in my patrol car.
Okay.
I'll take it. Huh?
Come on.
Wait! You're gonna be alright.
Come on.
Oh,
Thanks, Josh.
Can I have my phone back?
We'll get your belongings, alright?
I didn't know that was your wife. 21 knew her?
No, that's not my wife. Thanks for the donation, dude.
I hate you all. I hate you. You escalated this.
They literally told you to shut up and leave him alone, and then, like, just kept freaking out and screaming.
You didn't have to pull out the pepper spray. You didn't have to continue to scare me.
Do you want more units downtown?
You knew my buddies and you set them off.
I'll live out shortly, but I think we were okay coming in.
Please step. What?
That is some epic retardation. One of the best public freakouts I've ever seen.
Joe Biden was a Democrat and was the president as of a year and a half ago. That wasn't that long ago. We all see how the far left is trying to take over, but I'm just going to see who's on my ballot and decide then. We'll see how things go until then.
Yeah, he was old. So try looking at any modern candidates. They're all lying fucking retarded asshole. So, you know. I'm not hopeful for any Democratic candidates. It's gonna be some fucking retard. Like they're all, every single one of the candidates, they're all lying, spineless retards that are anti-freedom. They all want to ban guns. They all want mass surveillance. They all just want to expand social services, raise taxes, and bring in more immigrants. Like, they're just destroying the country. Thanks for the donation, though, Sid.
And then in January, Anderson Silva, the greatest middleweight in the history of the sport, tested positive for drostanolone and androstenedione.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, Masteron's great. 5-alpha androstane. I don't know what that is. What is that?
3 weeks before his big comeback fight against Nick Diaz. Worst of all was that the results of the test didn't come back until after the fight on January 31st already happened. So although Silva won the bout, the Nevada State Athletic Commission overturned the result and issued him a 1-year ban.
You're grown men. You're f***ing adults.
Tested positive for drostanolone and androstenedione.
So I don't know who the fuck's taking drostanolone propionate.
Rahm Emanuel, moderate and Jewish Democrat, fairly likely to be 2028 nominee because moderate leaders in the party already supporting him early on, so again, we'll see what happens. I'd likely be fine with voting for him over a Republican.
We'll see. I don't have high hopes. Especially with the way things are going, where you have more dumbass college kids just voting for fucking commies. But we'll see. Thanks for the donation, Sid. I have no idea who's using Justanolone propionate.
Androstane and androstane.
Androstane. Androstane. I've never heard of this. Is like I don't know if he's got the name wrong.
Your predictions have historically almost entirely been inaccurate, so sure you can predict it'll be some insane retard as the 2028 nominee, but it likely won't, especially given how the primary/caucus system works.
Sure. Yeah, hopefully. Thanks for that donation, dude.
Anabolic steroids 3 weeks before his big comeback fight against Nick Diaz. Worst of all was that the results of the test didn't come back until after the fight on January 31st already happened. So although Silva won the bout, the Nevada State Athletic Commission overturned the result and issued him a 1-year ban.
You're grown men. You're f***ing adults. You're professional athletes. How many times do you have to be told not to do this?
The drug issue was starting to snowball for the UFC, and to make matters worse, this was all during their attempts to finally host a show at Madison.
Dude, Pride was so much better than the UFC. Still to this day, Pride was fucking top tier. They did absolutely no drug testing. It's a waste of fucking money too. Like, again, they're paying a private company a fuck ton of money for this dumb drug testing bullshit. Why? It's stupid. Let them take steroids. They're better looking. They're better fighters. Like, the fights are better. They're less likely to get injured. They can recover from injuries faster and easier. So you've just got better fighters, like, that can just fight more, and you're spending less money. Like, what is the fucking problem? It's just retarded.
Square Garden in New York. So then in June of 2015, the UFC and USADA held a joint press conference.
If you're using drugs, you're going to get caught. We spent $500,000. Now we're going to spend millions.
Like, that, by the way, that's fucking peanuts. Like, that's not even that much money.
Of dollars.
And finally, 10 months later, on April 14th, 2016, Andrew Cuomo signed the bill that made professional MMA legal in New York. Now, am I accusing the UFC of buying a drug testing program with the sole purpose of having a show at MSG? Well, no. What I'm actually saying is that the whole reason any drug testing program existed in the first place was so that politicians, state commissions, advertisers, and TV partners could point to it as a scapegoat.
But from a PR perspective, I think UFC struggled with legitimacy. What's one way to make a sport seem more legitimate and more safe and more like the other mainstream sports we know is implement drug testing.
And to be fair, their new drug testing partner, USADA, had teeth. Throughout their 8-year partnership with the UFC, USADA ran over 27,000 drug tests, which the UFC paid about $7 million every year for. And here's a term you'll need for the rest of this video: the testing pool. Every active fighter goes into it. It's a list of athletes who have to report their whereabouts every single day, so a collector can show up anywhere, anytime, unannounced.
Good luck going to the mountains of Dagestan and getting a sample.
Yeah.
Compare this with MLB, where athletes don't need to report their whereabouts. And don't even get me started on the NFL, where most critics flag the testing setup as too predictable. The UFC went with the gold standard here and imported the Olympic model. One caveat.
Oh, dude, basketball was even funnier. They only tested the athletes once at the beginning of the season. So people have like noted this back in the day, you know, like when Michael Jordan was, you know, in the NBA, like 80s, 90s. again, nobody got injured. Everyone looked fucking great. They're like leaner, like more in shape, like 6-pack abs, everybody. And again, they never like fucking got injured or hurt, and they played like every fucking game. So like it's funny how and they were more aggressive back then. So like it's funny how they had practically no drug testing back then, and the sport was better, the athletes were better, less injuries, and they played more aggressively. Versus today, like injury, like, and all they're fucking doing is like 3-point shots back and forth. Like, why the fuck are we drug testing? It's just stupid.
Caveat though, if you leave the UFC roster, you leave the testing pool. Come back to the UFC and rejoin the testing pool. More on that later.
Just like the fear of being audited by the IRS, you know, and so the fear of being tested is what keeps people honest. So
this is Dr. Rand McClain, a doctor who specializes in longevity and health span for a living. I spoke to him to understand the actual efficacies of drug testing. And in his professional opinion, the most potent part of USADA's drug testing protocol was their presence as a deterrent.
Threat is the best ammo that these agencies have, right? Unless they had
21st Century Tillers, I'm going to ask again and expect an answer this time, not a cop-out. Fuck, marry, kill. Miss Rachel, Code Pink Lady, Greta Thunberg. I guess kill Code Pink Lady. She's just fucking disgusting. It's not like I'd fuck her or marry her. Shit. It's a tough one. Do I fucking marry Greta Thunberg or just fuck her? Like, I don't. I don't know. You could kind of interchange those. Like, I don't know. Something about Miss Rachel annoys me more. So I guess I'd fuck Miss Rachel and marry Greta Thunberg. Let me hear you rationalize who you'd fuck, marry, kill. There you go. Thanks for the donation, dude. What's this link? It's not Christian to vote to fund Israel's military when they're committing genocide. It's Christian to help the poor, help the sick, your neighbor. Jesus wouldn't bomb anyone. Yeah. Right. So she, like, again, this is so typical with these fucking people, right? It's like, oh, I was just saying I love all children. And, like, again, they test the waters, go further. Again, in, like, a year from now, she's going to be straight up saying Israel shouldn't exist. I can fucking guarantee you. It's just what they do. These are just crazy, wacko social media clout chasers that are just following the money. And she found that there's a big money-making scheme to hate Jews. But yeah, Code Pink Lady, I think I'd have to kill her. Miss Rachel's a bitch, but, you know, I guess I could hate fuck her or something. I think with Greta, too, she doesn't give a fuck. Like, this is just money. I think if I married Greta and then, like, she just shut up. Thanks for the donation, the 21st. 21st, $20, nigga, why do you suck at strategizing so badly? Greta's vegan, so that could be a reason to marry her over the others. I guess. Code Pink Lady is old and going to probably die soon, so that could be a reason to marry her. I'd probably either marry Code Pink or Greta. Okay. Thanks for the donation, 21st. That's my reasoning, so.
Have unlimited resources because it is so expensive. And so
we don't hear anything anymore. You know, when was the last time we heard of a guy popping for anything? It used to be quite common.
More on that later, but Craig was right. For those 8 years together, USADA was seemingly a really strong deterrent in the UFC. And when athletes were taking performance-enhancing substances, USADA was seemingly catching them. But there was something weird about who kept popping for PEDs. Like, would you find it at all suspicious if I told you it was always the same athletes? And that most of these athletes all had something very important in common. Starting with Brock Lesnar.
Let's talk about Brock Lesnar.
I have never failed a drug test.
Lesnar walked into UFC 200 against Mark Hunt looking like an absolute unit. And even though he would go on to win the bout, the result was overturned because of a failed drug test. And once again, the Nevada State Athletic Commission had to ban another UFC athlete for a year.
UFC superstar Brock Lesnar will be out of the octagon for the next year.
And then there's Jon Jones, the pound-for-pound #1 fighter in the UFC. He also failed a drug test multiple times during the UFC's tenure with USADA, which resulted in him being stripped of his title on various occasions. Then there's TJ Dillashaw, the bantamweight champion. He was caught using recombinant human EPO, which is the same drug Lance Armstrong was using.
Lance Armstrong is probably one of the biggest frauds.
I don't even know how he got caught with that. The testing window is like 8 hours or something. It's really fucking weird how he could even get caught with that.
Frauds and cheats in professional sport.
USADA had a penchant for catching these UFC champs and headliners. The most tested guy in UFC's history with USADA was Paulo Costa, with 135 tests in 8 years. Second was Jon Jones. But what about the journeymen? Were the fighters filling up the undercard also getting caught under USADA's supervision? These days, Craig Jones works as a grappling coach in the UFC for some of its best fighters, Alexander Volkanovski and Jack Della, to name a few.
I guess marriage is a bit different for you anyway, since you sleep in different beds and don't interact with each other anyway. You just would buy Greta all the Guardian chicken tenders she wants, so it's really no different than your current/recent life.
Yeah, sure. Thanks for the donation, 21st.
I've cornered 11 UFC fights, 10 of which have been title fights.
Though it might be fair to say that Craig's own athletic gifts, when compared to his athletes, weren't as endowed.
I was built like a chopstick, so it's like I definitely lost matches because I felt like I was not strong enough to compete with that opponent.
After losing a grappling match in 2015, Craig decided to get on the sauce.
Ended up contacting, in Melbourne, for no better term, a dealer for my first shot of testosterone, and he injected me in the wrong location of my butt cheek, and I could not sit down for maybe 3-4 days.
That is not what happened. You can inject fucking anywhere on your body. If you have some weird, crazy post-injection pain like that, where like your ass is so sore you can't sit for a few days, it's either dirty gear. So it's either infected with bacteria or it has like some kind of solvent in it that you're allergic to, or it could have just been test propionate. Some dudes are so sensitive to test propionate, and it seems like it actually triggers an allergic reaction. That's the only fucking possible way. Worst shot I've ever taken was in my right glute for some fucking reason. I don't know why, but my right butt cheek is particularly sensitive to injections, but they're nowhere near like something like that. It just felt like funny, like there was a knot in my butt for a few days. But it didn't hurt. It was just like, again, it just felt tight in my like ventral glute for a few days. That is either, again, dirty gear, infected with bacteria, has some kind of solvent that he's allergic to, or it might just be like test propionate allergy.
I swear he might hit a nerve in there or some shit.
For the up-and-coming athletes in the UFC during the days of USADA, you might be surprised to learn that access to a quality protocol was a lot harder to come by than you might think. Because even for Craig, who competed in a sport with virtually no testing, it wasn't a completely frictionless process.
Who do you talk to? You know what I mean? Like as an up-and-coming athlete, if you want to make that transition, it's so secretive. So it's like, you're scared to ask.
It's not a stretch to understand how these athletes at the top of the sport with more money and connections might have easier access to PEDs and access to more sophisticated ways of circumventing drug detection.
Everyone has access to PEDs, like especially now, dude. It's easier to order drugs on the internet than it is to order off of Amazon. I'm not even fucking kidding. It is so easy to order any fucking steroid you want. It's easier than fucking Amazon shopping. So everyone has access to drugs. The issue is the political connections to like circumvent drug testing full stop, or working with some sort of sophisticated doctor to work out like a PED regimen to bypass, like to get through the actual PED screening.
That's where, you know, the so-called designer steroids came into play, and athletes were getting away with stuff that they didn't have a test for yet.
Still, does that definitively mean all the champions and headliners in the UFC are on the sauce? Craig doesn't think so.
Volkanovski, with 100% confidence, I could say, has never touched any PEDs, and it's a point of pride.
So what am
you can't know that. Like, he's small and everything, but you can't know that.
I getting at? Well, first off, it's obvious that USADA made a difference. Remember, comparing the UFC pre and post USADA partnership, there was a 12.7% reduction in the likelihood of a fight ending in an extreme outcome. Though I should mention here that the researchers themselves don't conclude a causal relationship here, but maybe the champions were the only ones being tested often enough to fail repeatedly. Or maybe the champions and headliners were the only people in the UFC regularly cheating. Well, what if what was actually going on was a third thing? A sort of hybrid of the two, because there's still an important question we haven't asked yet. How cooperative was the UFC with their so-called gold standard drug testing partner? It's finally time to address the breakup. On October 9th, 2023, the UFC privately informed USADA they were ending the partnership at the end of the year. 2 days later, on October 11th, USADA published a 10-page statement addressing the split. The official UFC reason was cost, due process, or some vague reference to fighter welfare. Let's knock out the cost excuse right away, because it's the easiest one to clock. The head of USADA says the agency asked for about $7 million for the next year, which is roughly what the UFC had been paying every year. And remember who we're talking about here. The company sold for over $4 billion back in 2016. 7 mil is a drop in the bucket to the UFC.
Yeah, well, guess what? That $7 million could go towards paying fighters bigger paychecks. So imagine, rather than throwing away $7 million in the fucking toilet for absolutely no reason, for nothing other than some dumb fucking political bullshit to ruin someone's fucking career, you just put that money into a fighter's pocket or multiple fighters' pockets. I'd rather see 7 more fighters get paid $1 million, or 14 more fighters get paid $500,000, or what is it, 28 more fighters getting paid like fucking $250,000 than like $7 million getting thrown in the fucking toilet for no fucking reason. So like, who cares?
That was Paul.
Yeah, this is something people have no fucking clue about. Drug testing is one of the most humiliating fucking things that fighters have to go through, especially women. Like the drug testing shit for women is particularly bad because they don't have wieners. So what they fucking have to do, they go to these people's houses, like they're stalked constantly. They have to like call and check in and tell like some people where they're fucking going, where they're gonna be. So it's like this privacy invasion, and then they can show up at your house at like 3 a.m. or like, you know, if it's your fucking birthday, they can crash your fucking birthday with your family. And then while you're having like, you know, you're celebrating your kid's birthday or something, these fucking jackasses show up and then ask you to piss in a fucking cup in front of 3 different fucking people, and they have to see your actual dick and balls and the piss streaming out of your fucking dick. Again, you can't have any fucking privacy. You have to fucking go wee-wee in front of complete fucking strangers. Like, it's humiliating, and it's even more humiliating for women because they have to do the same thing. So they have to like flap open their fucking vagina in front of fucking strangers. It's fucking disgusting. So again, the only reason there's any fucking drug testing in any sport is because there's a bunch of fucking jealous losers who didn't get to fuck cheerleaders in high school. So they created these drug testing organizations to ruin athletes' careers that they're fucking jealous of. And it's nothing but fucking humiliating for the actual athletes. Like, fuck drug testing. It's stupid. JP, no need to lawyers. By the way, can you watch Saladino's new looks maxing vid? I don't know.
Literally prefer 7 foot tall dudes over 5'11", 6 foot. The taller, the better.
No, the taller, not the better. Again, attractiveness for height seems to peak at around 6'3".
I guess there might be diminishing returns at 8 feet tall, but no one's that tall. You could not be tall enough for these girls. If you were 6'7", 6'8", with a decent face and big peepee, you could take anyone's chick. She would dump any situation she's ever been in for you. And
this is coming from a guy who's literally never been with a woman ever in his life because he's gay.
And there's no female equivalent of that. Literally absolutely perfect chick, there's no feature she could have that's the equivalent of a tall guy. And one crazy thing would be, like, if you just put your height in your bio as a guy, if you were that tall, you'd have girls DMing you like, I'll fly to you right now and sit on your lap, daddy. I'm not even joking. If you put 6'7", 6'8", anything above 6'6" in your bio, you'll get any chick you want DMing you. Like, that's what they want. It's absurd.
Yeah, and he would know this. How? Like, what a fucking insecure retard. Oh yeah, Frank hates women in general. One of the reasons he hates women is because it's related to his hatred of his own sexuality.
Face does not matter if you aren't tall. Like, the reason heightism is so important is because it does not matter what you look like unless you're tall. You need to be tall just to get your foot in the door. So before you can even be considered as a potential partner.
Hey, Gum Gum, you want to come cuddle? How's my Gum Gum?
Partner for these girls, most girls, you have to be tall. These hypotheticals, 5'7" Chad versus 5'7" Chad versus 6'7" MTN. It's never the short guy. It doesn't matter. You could be 5'8", super handsome Chad, perfect face, and they will choose a 6'3" mid-tier normie. You don't have to. These people try to make it close, like 5'8" Chad Light versus 6'3" high-tier normie. They would choose a 6'3", 6'4" ugly dude over a perfect face 5'8" guy.
No, they wouldn't. Again, if this was remotely true, you wouldn't see, what's that, guy's name from fucking Twilight? He's actually a good actor, but I only think of Twilight gay sparkly vampire. People like that wouldn't be attractive. He played Batman in that last Batman movie. What's his name? Timothy Chalamet. Honestly, I don't know what the fuck. That guy looks like a fucking twink little child. I don't know what chicks are into him. But, there's girls who like really fucking feminine looking beta male skinny twink dudes. Just a thing, I guess. But yeah, there's plenty of short dudes who are attractive that women are into. It's fucking nonsense. It's just bizarre seeing Frank make these videos when he's gay. Thanks for the donation, JP. Where do I buy Good Test? Wherever Good Test is sold. Animal Liberation Donate Tellers. It's so much easier for so many men to meet good-looking women in developing nations when in America they're completely unnoticed. What do you think when people say that it's unethical exploitation because these women are only interested in money and passport? I wouldn't say that's entirely true. Yeah, there's a big aspect of that, but there's definitely very different values that women have from other cultures. So, yeah, that is a big aspect. I think especially South America and certain parts of Asia, that's definitely true. And certain African countries for sure, but again, it kind of depends. A lot of those women are also just more traditional, kind of more conservative, sort of family oriented, and they're not super obsessed with just getting as much money out of somebody as possible. They'd also just like to be treated well. It is just the reality that in some of these shithole dumbfuck countries that they're from, men don't treat them well. So that's kind of also why they like foreign men. But thanks for the donation, Animal Liberation. JP donated $2. Yeah, I'm not gonna watch this again, dude. We've seen this so many times. Yeah, we've already seen this. Thanks for the donation, JP.
Paulo Costa. This is the same guy who's the most tested athlete in the USADA drug testing pool. And what was he so mad about? Well, remember that USADA would sometimes drop in for randomized, unannounced house visits.
You don't go in and test a guy at 6 in the morning when he's cutting weight.
So that just leaves us with due process then. Sounds the most boring of them all, but I actually want to come back to this one later. Here's USADA's official statement on the split. The relationship between USADA and UFC became untenable given the statements made by UFC's leaders and others questioning USADA's principled stance that McGregor not be allowed to fight without being in the testing pool for at least 6 months. Essentially, what the world's foremost anti-doping CEO is saying is that the UFC parted ways with USADA because they refused to not test just one fighter. Well, to be fair, he wasn't just any
McGregor was on steroids after that leg break, like undeniably. He was on a 19 Nor for sure. Some people think it's Tren. It's definitely not Tren. He was just way too bloated and watery looking. He was definitely on Nandrolone. And that would make sense given the injury he had. Nandrolone is often used for a lot of injuries in recovery. But yeah, he also got gyno from it. He has like a very clear, obvious like breast mass on his right nipple that he didn't have before.
Fighter. More often than not these days, Conor McGregor can be found at the butt end of a joke instead of a strike to the head. But it's easy to forget what Conor McGregor used to mean to the UFC financially. Why would the UFC part ways with their long-term drug testing partner, you ask? The so-called...
Because they're fucking cunts.
The best anti-doping program in all of professional sport.
Yeah, you say that. Go fuck yourself.
I think it's sports entertainment to them.
In an industry where 1 million pay-per-view buys is a runaway hit, Conor McGregor has done that 8 times. McGregor has headlined 4 of the top 6 best-selling pay-per-views in the company's entire history.
I'm number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Back in 2020, Conor McGregor decided to take a break from the UFC, which also meant withdrawing from the USADA testing pool, which he stayed out of for almost 3 full years. In that time, he put on a suspicious amount of muscle mass.
And he looks like his...
Yeah, and you can see there's a mass under his right nipple that wasn't there before.
His piss would melt that USADA cup. Yeah. Like it would just burn a hole right through the bottom of that USADA cup.
The policy was that any returning fighter had to be back in the testing pool for 6 months and produce 2 clean tests before they could fight. And since Conor was planning a return to mixed martial arts in 2021, he abided by the rules and waited the full 6 months before his return. But after his catastrophic loss to Dustin Poirier and a broken leg at UFC 264, he took another extended hiatus. In late 2022 and through 2023, the UFC and McGregor publicly talked about a comeback fight. And that's when, all of a sudden, the 6-month rule became a problem. Now, let me start by clarifying something you may not know about the rules. It's actually a part of the UFC's own policy that returning fighters re-enter the drug testing pool for 6 months prior to competition. USADA just oversees the application of those rules. The UFC also retains the right to grant exceptions to the 6-month rule, which is how we got the Brock Lesnar looking the way he did at UFC 200, and the shit show that followed.
UFC superstar Brock Lesnar will be out of the octagon for the next year.
So this means that it was never the UFC versus USADA.
I mean, these guys are getting tested all the time. These guys are being drug tested nonstop. It's absolutely working.
Unlike the rest of the entire roster, Conor doesn't need the UFC. He was a massive draw on his own, making $130 million in his 2017 pay-per-view bout against Floyd Mayweather in the boxing ring. But the UFC for sure needed Conor. This is what the UFC was referring to as due process. The real conflict was USADA frowning upon granting an exception to Conor. In their attempts to not have another Brock Lesnar UFC 200 situation, USADA held firm that McGregor should be admitted in the testing pool for at least 6 months prior to his return. And we all know how the UFC decided to respond.
Yeah, they got rid of USADA.
The UFC and USADA, the U.S. Anti-Doping Agency, are parting ways at the end of 2023.
USADA and UFC will end their partnership.
Which then takes us to the 10-page statement from Travis Tygart, USADA's CEO.
It was a dirty move by them.
Okay.
Yeah, there was no announcement yesterday. That was straight up scumbagism, what happened yesterday. Okay.
USADA.
In fairness, the UFC was of the opinion that they fully intended for McGregor to serve the full 6 months.
They used Conor McGregor as a vehicle to sort of try to articulate and reframe a complete misrepresentation of what occurred over the last several months.
In fact, under UFC's new program, McGregor did stay in the testing pool, and they just so conveniently backdated his return so that he became eligible on April 8th, 2024, just days before his scheduled UFC 300 comeback on April 13th, 2024. As it turns out, Conor's scheduled return at UFC 300 got derailed due to a toe injury. But just like your crazy ex after a bad breakup, things were far from over for the UFC. But first, let's recap everything that's happened so far. 1. The UFC and USADA partner up in 2015. 2. Throughout their partnership, a couple exemptions are made, most notably Brock Lesnar at UFC 200, to which everyone involved got burned. 3. The UFC had planned to grant Conor McGregor an exemption, to which USADA pushed back on. 4. The UFC ends their relationship with USADA, to which USADA responds by airing out their dirty laundry in a 10-page public statement from their CEO. 5. Oh, and I forgot to mention this part earlier.
They were clearly just butthurt with the UFC not renewing the contract.
Earlier, the UFC then sent USADA a defamation letter the same day, demanding they rescind their statement by 5 o'clock. USADA stood by their statement and did not issue a retraction, but the UFC didn't follow up on the lawsuit either, so I guess it was just a lot of posturing. Maybe they didn't want the courts digging into their private records. You don't behave the way the UFC did if you have a clean conscience about the 8 years that came before. In Craig's own opinion,
get USADA out of here, you know, shit's boring now.
So, with their very public breakup on the table, I want to bring it back to the hypothesis from earlier. Were the champions really the only athletes in the UFC doping? Was the USADA program just not comprehensive enough to catch everyone? Well, here's that third option. Regardless of whether you are doping or not, you can probably surmise by now that the rules have always been flexible depending on who you are.
For example, they used to talk about, well, you know, there's all these athletes cheating with human growth hormone and we can't detect that. The heck you can't, and couldn't at the time. Yes, you can. You just didn't want to.
I think it was designed to look like it was catching people.
Whether it's who gets tested or even what to do with those test results when they come back.
I've had a patient I can speak to, I'm thinking of right now, who came to me post facto saying, what do I do? I've been tested, you know, is there something you can say? Hey, no, but why don't you just wait and see? The presumption is, you know, because he did not get caught, is they threatened to test, they actually collected the urine, but they never tested because they have to have this threat, but they can't afford to do all this testing.
It's just an insurmountable cost. So it would be a cost that would be better kept in-house and controlled by the UFC.
On January 1st, 2024, the UFC's in-house drug testing program, meant to replace USADA, went live. They call it the Combat Sports Anti-Doping Program. Collections are handled by a company called Drug Free Sport International. Samples go to a WADA accredited lab in Salt Lake City. But now, the UFC funds the entire program and has strict control on their findings. The drug testing outcomes and rulings now get released on UFC.com.
That might be under NDA too. I would imagine UFC fighters are not legally able to talk about the testing protocols. I thought it was interesting. I actually ran into a UFC fighter. This woman fighter was drunk and she was just talking, and she was just saying, yo, like since USADA left, it's like, I can miss tests and all this stuff.
The drug testing program in the UFC has always been a tool for their ultimate goals.
Oh, that's great.
They get to control the public narrative as a legitimate, clean sport. A way to keep the sport legal, keep it on cable, and keep it just kosher enough for that juicy ad revenue. And the 2015 USADA partnership was a prop. Which samples do you spend the money on testing? You spend it on the main event. So why was it more often than not it was the champions and headliners who popped for performance-enhancing drugs? The occasional high-profile drug failure was something the UFC could point to and say, see, the program works. But it was also a way to control the athletes themselves, because the whole roster knew that the UFC was willing to hand out exceptions to the rules if it was in both their shared interests. At the same time, there was little to no need to excessively test the low-profile athletes. It wasn't worth the cost, and they already had sufficient control over their careers.
If I was an unethical promoter, what I would do is I'd control the drug testing and use failed drug tests to leverage contracts. Hey, you popped, accept this deal or the test goes public. If I was a truly unethical promoter that only cared about the bottom line, that's honestly how I'd use drug testing.
But obviously, once USADA stood their ground with Conor, there was no need for the $7 million a year partnership. The UFC by then was an established name in sports and entertainment, and they had already learned the whole playbook on drug testing as control. In 2023, Conor was way more valuable to the UFC than USADA was. And unfortunately for the athletes, it looks like we're headed back to the days of extreme outcomes. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing if you're already not. And if you want to hear more from Craig Jones,
get rid of drug testing in sports. It is just fucking stupid. It's a waste of money, takes away money from athletes, destroys careers, does absolutely fucking nothing for anybody. So Paul Saladino apparently did some dumb fucking looks maxing horse shit. Buddy, like, he looks like shit. This guy is such a fucking, like, attention whore. It's so fucking dumb.
There's a...
Buddy, you look like fucking crap. You look like you fucking, like, snort crack.
happening now. It's called look jaw surgeries. We're talking about all kinds of crazy... And also steaks, red meat...
Red meat for looks maxing. That's not helping you, buddy. You look like a fucking avocado.
Meat is the core of what I eat.
That's being left out in the sun.
But let me tell you why red meat is really the place to start for looks...
Because it ages you.
Maxing. Let's talk about some specific vitamins. Vitamin K2, also...
It is not high in vitamin K2.
Known as
It's practically non-existent.
Menaquinone, I'll put it on the screen. Not phylloquinone, menaquinone. There are really compelling studies in humans showing that vitamin...
Dude, like, look at this guy's shoulders. He looks like weak, frail, and underweight. Like, just the clothes he wears are so fucking unflattering on him.
K2 deficiency.
Looks maxing. He looks like a fucking avocado that got left out in the fucking sun, and he looks like a starving fucking skeleton.
In childhood results in stunted height. Gosh, I wish I were taller.
Oh my god.
Guys.
Yeah, and your own body makes K2 as well. Like, this is just fucking stupid. Eggs, yeah, lots of nice cholesterol. Is that going to make my skin, like, leathery and wrinkly like yours, dipshit? Can I be weak and small and frail like you because of eggs? Liver, yeah, again, Mr. I like being a wrinkly, leathery, skinny fucking dork. Liver's not fucking helping you. Weightlifting. This guy doesn't lift weights. We've seen his workout routine. He trains like a little fucking bitch.
Cardio? Okay, it's beneficial for BDNF in your brain, but I have this feeling that when you do cardio, it kind of makes you a smaller version of yourself, right?
You are a fucking skinny, weak little twerp.
What you really need to do to lose weight is to get higher basal metabolism and gain some muscle. Yes, you got to do something cardiovascular, but gaining muscle is critical. The one exercise that
So why are you a skinny, weak little twerp then?
I could give you guys to help you look better is a pull-up. It's so simple.
Yeah. So this guy does not lift weights. He just does body weight fucking pull-ups, and he is surprised that he looks like a skinny fucking twerp. Like, he has no traps. None. Zero. Just weak, scrawny fucking neck.
It's full upper body. It's back, it's chest, it's biceps, it's shoulders.
Pull-ups work your chest. Okay. Right. That's why you have no chest, huh? It's shoulders. You have no shoulders.
It gives you the V, right? So here's the prescription. Here's the part of your protocol. Number 2.
Like, this guy is deranged. Like actually deranged saying this shit.
50 pull-ups a day. And I'm not talking about weenie pull-ups. I'm talking about full extent.
Buddy, this is not going to get you fucking jacked. I don't even think this guy does 50 pull-ups a day, by the way. Give me a fucking break. You're a fucking weenie little bitch. Like, this is the best you can come up with? Looks maxing? Like, men are, like, the ideal man according to like the average fucking woman, is like muscular and strong. You know, like Henry Cavill, what's his name, who played Thor. Like, those are probably top tier male physiques, like in Hollywood. And this guy's like 50 pull-ups. Well, look at how Henry Cavill trains. Look at how Chris Hemsworth trained for Thor. And we know for a fact Chris Hemsworth also took steroids. They're not just doing 50 pull-ups a day. They have a full fucking weight training routine. This guy is a lazy fucking weak beta male fucking faggot who's afraid of lifting heavy weights and working hard. He's a little fucking pussy-ass bitch. I'm afraid of heavy weights. And like, he makes up every excuse not to lift heavy. I don't want to be big and bulky. I like doing martial arts and being flexible, so if I have too much muscle, I wouldn't be good at it, even though the best martial artists in the world are fucking jacked and take steroids. This guy's a fucking loser.
Extension pull-ups, full, all the way up, chest over the bar, all the way down, elbows extended. You do 50 of those a day, you will change your...
So he doesn't do 50 of those a day, and I can guarantee you, you're not going to look that much different. Like, again, it's one exercise that only targets, like, really one muscle group, and there's no progressive overload scheme. Progressive overload has to fucking occur for you to build muscle.
React to this.
People need to wake up. God bless this man.
A scholar from Rockwall, Texas.
Iran, and I'm here to tell you everything that you're doing here has been done in UK and Canada. You have no idea where this halal money is going to, how they're being funding these mosques, and what kind of a hell is coming towards your country right now. It's 2026. I escaped that hell years ago, and I'm seeing the same thing happening over here in the United States. You have no idea. There's 3 levels of Sharia law that is happening. Right now, it's level 1. They come in peace. They come and tell you, we just want rights. We want to be part of it. Level 2 is what's happening in UK right now. You have 2-tier policing. You have cops who are working with Muslims right now. You have Sharia law courts over there. Now they're pushing blasphemy laws over there. And one of them is called M103. It's in Canada. People are being jailed. People are being like raped, and nobody's doing anything about that because these Muslims are protected. Level 3 is what happened to my country, Iran. The hell I lived under. The apostasy laws, blasphemy laws.
Okay, that's nice. Thanks for the donation, Dodo. There's no progressive overload scheme in this. Just do pull-ups. Like, okay, there's no increasing intensity in any form. And like the most important way, load. You have to increase the amount of load you're lifting, or else you won't grow. So, again, Paul, there's a reason you look like a skinny, weak little fucking twerp.
Shoulders. You will change your back naturally. No peptides, no steroids. This is one of the key
We can tell. That's why you look like a skinny fucking twerp.
exercises you can do to improve your shape. And then, number 2 exercise. You want abs, right? How do you get abs? We already talked about it. Abs are made in the kitchen. Abs start with what you eat. But the best exercises I have found for abs are actually not sit-ups. I will show you these on the bar. They are leg raises, and you can do it with your...
Yeah, hanging leg raises are probably the best ab exercise. But... yeah, doing pull-ups and hanging leg raises are not going to make you fucking jacked. Sunlight, yes, make your skin very damaged and leathery and age faster. Good looks maxing tip. By the way, we literally have melanotan, which I'm taking right now. You can get darker, more tan skin without damaging your fucking skin by just taking melanotan. So rather than looking like a fucking overly ripe fucking rotting avocado like Paul with leathery fucking wrinkly skin, you can just take melanotan and then avoid harsh fucking sunlight in Costa Rica, like near the equator. And like you can just wear sunscreen and shit if you have to go outside during the day. Fucking idiot. mastic gum. Oh my god, here we fucking go.
Mediterranean tree. You want to rinse it because it has a little bit of a bitter dust on it, and you just put it in your mouth and chew it. Takes a minute to get it going. The other thing to understand is that when muscle attaches to bone and muscle pulls on bone, it causes more bone to be laid down.
No, not really. Like, you're not... This isn't going to affect your actual jawbone. Best case scenario, bone mineral density increases, but it's not going to affect the shape of your bone. All this will do is build up the, what is it? Is it the mandible muscles or something in your jaw? The thing in the corner here, and I think there's some muscles around your, like around here. That's all it does.
So not only can you write while you're sleeping, you guys have probably heard of mouth taping.
Mouth taping. That's not going to do anything to make you look better. Okay. So this guy dresses in the most unflattering, retarded horse shit. Just looks like a fucking bum walking around. Eats like shit. Doesn't fucking take training seriously. Looks like a skinny, emaciated fucking prick. And basically destroys his skin by constantly going outside in midday sun near the equator. And again, this is why this guy looks like a wrinkly, fucked up retard. Thanks for the looks maxing advice, dumbass. I'm gonna do the opposite of that stupid shit. "21st, when you tell her, why doesn't Paul have a double chin, but you do when you look down? Paul has a better jawline than you, even though you're on steroids. Have you considered, like, chewing gum or something?" I literally don't fucking care. Great. Whoopee fucking diddly doo. He has less fat around his fucking jaw. He looks like a fucking crack addict. I don't care, so that's nice. Thanks for the donation, dude.
American military-industrial complex, a symbol of American...
It's probably going to take too long. It's, probably, I forgot. I have to, like, set up a different fucking controller for that Battletoads level we're on. Oh yeah, there are people who take like Paul Saladino seriously. They're like dumbasses, like complete fucking idiots. But yeah, there are in fact complete fucking retards that take that idiot seriously. Yeah, inbreds.
Roach.
Omnipresent. A little bit different than boxing for boxing. For example, the inside boxing does not really happen in mixed martial art. It's more dirty boxing, you know, so it's mostly for boxing from the outside and in mid-range. There's no...
All I'm saying is I think Pat would like it if he had a sharper jawline, sure, but despite being on steroids for half a year, you have a soft chin and jaw, basically double chin when you look down. Don't care. Thanks for that donation, dude.
Not much boxing close range for mixed martial art because you're allowed to grab elbows. Freddy is aware of it, and the way he teaches the mixed martial art fighter is always in consideration of those aspects. And he's the best at taking what you have and enhancing your skill and make you the best version that you can be.
Okay, I gotta put my bowl away because Gummy just wants to annoy me. I'll be right back. Dude, this is the stupidest fucking thing. I love how that I have to use a totally different, like, dumb fuck controller to play this fucking Battletoads level. So stupid. I don't even know. Yeah, it looks like all the USB ports here. Where's the thing? Jesus Christ. Gummy, what the fuck are you doing? I don't know if I can really play this entire, I don't know if I can play this entire game on, this. We'll see. God damn it. This is still, not easy. Shit. I don't know, man. Ah, shit. Is there like a best fucking controller for this game or something? It's, like, this is better. It has the micro switches, but you can still accidentally press the inputs you don't want. So, the only other option is, like, reconfiguring the dumb controls with the controller so that it's the, face buttons, which is just fucking annoying. I guess I can fucking do. It's like, this is stupid. This is actually fucking dumb that I have to do this. Fucking, like, That is just stupid. And then we have to fucking change everything. I don't know if it, yeah, I don't know if it saves that I remember I tried saving the different key sets, and it just didn't work. So, like, that's easy. I can just save that. Yeah, the thing's easy as long as you have a decent fucking controller. Jesus. I don't... No idea if this is like a good cheese and it's working. So you're going to ignore your actual real viewers. Don't know if you noticed, but I'm kind of fucking busy concentrating on something. I'm not, like, reading chat the entire time. So, sorry your parents don't fucking love you and give you enough fucking attention, but that's not my job, so go fuck yourself. Holy shit, what a needy fucking cunt. You're ignoring me. I'm commenting. Why don't you respond to my comment right away? Fucking dickhead. That didn't even touch me. Eat shit. Ah, shit. Okay, it changes the... Crap. Oh my god, what is this? No gum gum. No gum gum. Fuck. I have no idea. That's a really weird boss. Damn it! Ah, what the fuck? Just, what the fuck do you want? Oh my god. I don't know. Shit. Oh my god, what the fuck are you supposed to do there? Dude, this thing, like... Oh my god. That's gotta be the weirdest boss in the whole game. It didn't even... Yeah, this thing cheats. Like, it didn't even touch me anywhere fucking close. Yeah. Fuck right off. Oh my god. I can't believe this shit. Ah, shit. Yeah, I got it. And this is the last fucking level. This is like the most AIDS fucking horseshit of all time. This is the worst thing that's ever happened to anybody. I just want to practice a little bit more with that last boss. Ah, shit. Ah, crap. That's some bullshit. Fuck right off. Okay, yeah, it's not that bad. Okay, and we'll just save that. Now we can do this horrible, horrible, awful last mission. It's just fucking evil and horrendous. Oh god, I hate this. Oh, right, and I remember. Completed the Crash platform games in the original Rayman. You mean Crash Bandicoot? No, they suck. I don't know why anybody likes Crash Bandicoot. It's so boring. And never played Rayman. There's no way anyone like fucking beat this game without save states, like for practice at first. I don't even know if I like dude, I'm not sure if I can mentally fucking handle this right now. Oh my god. This gets really bad. Yeah, I just fucking can't. I just can't right now. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. We're not doing that. That's not good. Yeah, that's not good.
Who's that?
Fuck these people. Fucking idiots.
Good answer. Got it. Got it. Moving on.
Hello?
Yeah, that is just if any other Muslim comes up, just so you guys know, that is how you're going to be treated on this live from now on.
because I've tried to have like somewhat good conversations that I think you're in good faith in, and I realize you guys are not. Okay. Now, if you do come up here and you're very clearly in good faith and you have a conversation, I can relax. But if you try any of that shit, I'm no longer letting it slide, because you guys take that as if it's like, oh, I totally won. It's not going to happen on this live anymore. If you guys come up here.
I want to talk a few more mythologies about testosterone replacement and the fears that people have. These are kind of quick, so I'm going to kind of put them together. One of them is fertility. It's very common that doctors, if they find a younger guy, like a guy in his 20s, if they bother to test him and go, oh, wow, your testosterone level's in the 200s, but I don't want to put you on testosterone now because then you won't be able to have babies. Like, it'll ruin your fertility. I have no idea where that belief comes from. It makes no sense when we give women birth control pills for months, for years, and then they stop the birth control pill and they can get pregnant in a month or two, right? I mean, we're totally familiar with that. Testosterone works the same way. When your body sees the testosterone in a large enough amount to where it doesn't feel compelled to keep producing its own testosterone, the pituitary gland signals, so FSH and LH, that's follicle stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone, will be suppressed. They'll see the testosterone. This is the same way birth control pills work. Ethinyl estradiol and a synthetic progestin in those pills tricks the pituitary into thinking you're pregnant, basically. It's into thinking that you have plenty of these hormones around, so you don't need to send the signal to your gonads anymore to make them. And if women could see their ovaries, they'd probably notice that their ovaries shrink in size when they are on a birth control pill.
Kid Boo donated $2. Let me see. Well, that's a piggy and a dog enjoying their slop. That's good. They're friends. That's nice. Those are good friends. Thanks for the donation, Kid Boo.
But they can't. So when men are on testosterone, they can tell that their testicles generally shrink maybe 50%. 30 to 50% is what I tell guys. If you're on a reasonable amount of testosterone, where it is causing that feedback inhibition of your own production, your testicular size will shrink because you're not using all of that metabolic energy right now. If you come off your testosterone, they go right back to their old size. So this is not a permanent change, right? Same thing with fertility. If you go on testosterone, it will shut off the follicle stimulating hormone. You'll stop producing sperm. You will still have sperm for 72 days, give or take, because it takes that long to make a sperm. So the ones that were already started in the process will finish being made, and you won't be truly shooting blanks and have azoospermia until 75 days or so later. And if you really want to use testosterone as contraception reliably, you should go do a semen analysis one time, like the vasectomy check type that's just quick and easy. Are they there or are they not there? They don't do a whole sperm analysis thing for fertility. Just say black and white, any sperm, no sperm. And the Chinese did a big study on this. So if anybody asks, like, how do you know? The Chinese actually did more than one study on this, but over 1,000 men tracked for 7 years to 10 years, something like that. And they just gave them a monthly injection of testosterone, or it might have been every 10 to 12 weeks of testosterone undecanoate, which is this form that I hate that doesn't even give you the level it's supposed to. So it's a small amount of testosterone they gave them at a large interval. And it was still 95% of men had no sperm production within 3 months of being on this regimen. And then when they came off of it at the end of the 7-year study or something, all of them returned back to their normal testosterone and normal sperm production. So it's completely fine. I encourage men to use this as the method of birth control in their house. It's the only thing I've had to use for family planning since I started on TRT 17 years ago when I was like 35. And it works fantastically well. Women don't have to stay on their birth control pills. Birth control pills for women cause a whole slew of side effects that are negative. If you were to tell a woman or a man, hey, I have a contraceptive solution for you, this contraception that will make you faster, stronger, bigger, smarter, happier, have a better sex life, better sleep, better quality of life. Oh, and you'll live longer too because it reduces your risk of the most common cause of death, is cardiovascular disease. Are you interested? Like, I think people would say, yeah. Plus, it's totally reversible too, by the way. Like, why isn't this the method of birth control? It should be in America now. So that's the fertility thing. Not an issue. There's no long-term suppression of fertility. There's no reason to think that there would be either. Even urologists will tell this to people. I'm like, where are you getting this notion from? It doesn't make sense. And there's no validity to it. Don't let any of these doctors tell you it's true. Press them. Say, can you find me any research that backs up what you're saying? Because I have heard otherwise. If they're reasonably open-minded, maybe they'll listen to you. But probably not. Other things. So baldness. I'm not bald because of TRT. Most men who are going to lose their hair, it's a genetic thing, and they were going to lose their hair no matter what, because men have such chronically, like, population-wide low testosterone now. They're not losing their hair because of high DHT. because nobody has high DHT. And that's why finasteride that's being prescribed to men to prevent hair loss and what is causing all these horrible negative effects because they don't need it. Their DHT is not high, and they're just getting deficiency on top of a deficiency. They're pushing their testosterone level even lower than what it was, and men get fatigue, depression, erectile dysfunction, urinary leakage because their prostate just shrivels up. And they're thinking it's like some syndrome, finasteride syndrome. It's not. It's not a drug side effect. It's not a toxicity of finasteride. It is just the fact that malpractice has been committed. I mean, this is a drug that does one thing. It blocks the enzyme 5-alpha reductase. So that's an enzyme that takes testosterone and converts it to dihydrotestosterone. It's more complicated than that. There's 3 different isoenzymes and 3 different forms of 5-alpha reductase, and they're in different tissues and do different things, and men and women have differences. But in general, that's it. And a high DHT from excess conversion of this enzyme will cause male pattern baldness, but only if it goes up to a pretty high level. And nowadays, nobody's there. So they're giving it to men with...
I don't know what my conversion of test to DHT is, but like my test is over 5,000, and I'm on Masteron and Tren. Haven't had any recession. My hair's not falling out. Oh, so it's just a fucking genetic thing. It's if you're gonna lose your hair, you're gonna lose your hair.
Out checking their DHT. So this drives me nuts. The urologists and primary doctors and internists, they give finasteride to shrink the prostate. So if they feel like a man's prostate is enlarged, they'll just give finasteride. They won't bother checking their dihydrotestosterone level first. That's the thing this drug does. So if you have knowledge of what the drug does, you have the ability to monitor the hormone that the drug affects. Why would you not do that first? And so you're getting a whole bunch of men with horrible negative effects from being on finasteride because it's not what they needed in the first place. And if the doctors would do that test, they'd see that not only is their DHT not high, it's low. And so that's not a good solution for them. Estrogen also causes enlargement of the prostate gland. And that's why men today have enlarged prostates. It's almost always estrogen influence and not DHT. So you give a guy with high estrogen, finasteride or dutasteride that lowers their DHT even more, and they're going to feel absolutely god-awful horrible. And the prostate's not going to really shrink much, probably, if it has the high estrogen. So it's a malpractice issue, honestly. Just test the hormone you're manipulating, put them on the medication if it's actually high, and then recheck it and monitor it. That's what I do. Every man I put on TRT, 2-3 weeks in, I try to get them to check estrogens and DHT. If it's too high, we put them on some regimen of finasteride, and it's never every day. Well, unless it's like the 1 milligram Propecia dose, right? 1 milligram a day, that's great for some guys, but it comes in a 5 milligram dose for enlarged prostates. And when a urologist puts a band on it, they just say, here, take it 5 milligrams a day. I will tell you, like, even the guys that I see that have the highest DHT conversions on large amounts of testosterone, they only usually need like maybe 2.5 milligrams per day. I'll have them cut the pills in half because I monitor the levels. And I have never seen anyone else do it. It's insane. The urologists don't. The other people who do bioidentical hormone therapy, all these big TRT clinics around the country, Game Day and whatever, TRT Nation, there's a whole bunch of these like rackets around the country that don't really individualize it for men. None of them know what they're doing. They don't give enough of a dose. They don't monitor DHT. They also almost all check estradiol levels and not estrone levels. And even if the men have high estrogens, they usually don't do anything about it, or they do something cursory like 1 milligram of anastrozole a week. I see these travesties of TRT management all over the country, and it just gives the whole thing a bad name.
Never seen any evidence that male pattern baldness is caused by Malassezia fungus. That idea sounds fucking retarded, especially since topical dutasteride and minoxidil and shit like that, that is highly effective for preventing male pattern baldness. So if it had anything to do with fungus, then antifungal medications would treat it, which I have never seen any evidence that it does.
So I'm trying to improve.
I don't know where you got that idea from.
The finasteride issue, most people don't need it. I would say men that I put on TRT, it's about a quarter of men that end up needing to do something to control it, but it's like 1 milligram a day, 2.5 milligrams every other day. We tailor the regimen to meet that man and get his levels where we want them to be, which if you use the DHT range where it's in double digits, because you can get DHT reported in 2 different units. One of them has a range that is usually going to be like 30 to 70 or something, but that's skewed low. You really want it to be like maybe 50 or 60. Up to 100, 120 is a good range for the DHT in the lower when it has the other units. But when it's the one with the higher numbers, it'll be like 10 times that. So their range might be from 300 to 700 or something like that. But again, you just multiply it by 10. It's the same range, just 10 times more. Just keep that in mind. So as long as we dose men with finasteride to keep them in that range, they don't lose any excess hair. If they're going to go bald anyway, they're going to go bald anyway. But they won't have excess hair loss for that. They won't have enlargement of the prostate. It's totally easy. That's it for more testosterone.
I'm going to sub to this guy's channel. I like his content. Based. Okay.
What is your opinion on his training style? He promotes no more than 30 seconds between set. What do you think is the best routine?
What if I told you the rest between your sets is the...
Well, I wouldn't listen to a guy with corn niblets for teeth. That's for one thing. There's no such thing as the best routine. Anybody who's telling you to rest for 30 seconds between sets is a fucking retard. That's not enough time to recover. You're going to end up doing less total volume in a session. You're also going to have lower power production and recruit less motor units, so you build less muscle. So yeah, don't listen to this retard with corn niblets for teeth. Thanks for the donation, Alan. So I'm going to go to bed now. Hope you had fun. Big thanks to everybody who donated on Streamlabs. We are very fucking close to being able to do full runs on Battletoads. Just gotta have a little bit of practice with this last level, and then we can bang it out. And hopefully in the next week or two or something, we can finally finish fucking Battletoads, dude. Oh my god. I just want the game to be over. But hope you had fun. My shoulder's getting better too, so I think I'll be able to play some racing games again. I think it's like just about good enough to actually do it. I gotta train legs tomorrow. I might stream that.